Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Wong is Right with Mike on Movies Podcast.
What's good?
What's good? Today, we're going to be talking about the sci-fi horror cult classic, Event Horizon. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone's doing very well. Hope you're having a great day, as usual. I'm not sure how Mike's feeling about that, but
I'm good. Okay. It's technically my birthday.
It is your birthday. We're recording this on his birthday, so
slave work.
Yeah, slave
driver.
work. Happy birthday and get to work, motherfucker.
Also, a special shout out to my sister and her now husband. Yeah. Congratulations on the wedding. So proud of you guys.
There you go. Yeah. Congratulations. I have never met you, but I wish you two all the best.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. But today it's we are going to be talking about a sci-fi horror movie called Event Horizon. It was released in 1997, and it stars Laurence Fishburne and Sam Neill. It's a short 96 minutes, and you can watch it on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, or Google Play. Not sure if you have to rent it or not, or if it's included in your subscription, or you have to pay those stupid rental fees. I hate that.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime, I'm about to watch it. Rent it. Here's $20. My fuck off.
Also, if it's like on Amazon Prime, but it's on a different streaming network, which then you have to make a new account with. I fucking hate.
Yeah, like when you're like, oh, you got Hulu or Crave.
Yeah, it's
like
so annoying.
But yes, this movie is available on those three platforms. So I'm not sure if you have to if it's included or not, but that's where it's available. It is an old movie, like I said, 97. Pretty old. It still holds up, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It really holds up. And it's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, not to be mistaken by P.T. Anderson. Paul Thomas Anderson. He did Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love, and
I love Punch Drunk Love.
What's it called? That Daniel Day-Lewis one, There Will Be Blood. Like he did.
Oh yeah.
So he's a very Paul W.S. Anderson, very different.
Not the same.
Not the same.
This guy made Resident Evil.
Yeah. So he did. Paul W.S. Anderson directed the Resident Evil series, all of them, the one with Mila Jovovich in them, right? His wife. And he's also did Soldier. And then and then of course he did the original Mortal Kombat movie.
Love that
movie. Every time I hear that name, like Mortal Kombat movie, I just hear the song. That's all. It just brings me right immediately to the song.
Your might.
Yeah. But he directed that, and then most recently he directed the very disappointing Monster Hunter.
Let's not even talk about that, man.
Yeah, that's not but at the time, this is like I was saying to Mike earlier, Paul W.S. Anderson, to me, he's got like the Zack Snyder syndrome.
Right.
Where I really liked his movies at the beginning, like Event Horizon, Mortal Kombat, Soldier with Kurt Russell. And then the first Resident Evil, not bad.
Right.
But then
they're just guilty pleasure movies.
They are.
Like they're not like the greatest movies.
But,
but I just like them because of the IP, the intellectual property that they're associated with.
Right. See, with Resident Evil, I only like the first one.
Me too.
I dislike all the rest of them. Like they're just don't make sense. Anyways, you know what? I want to do a podcast on the Resident Evil, the whole series, not one at a time.
You're gonna make me watch Extinction? Never.
Yeah. Fuck, we're gonna have to watch like 6 of those movies. It's gonna be great. But yeah, so it's directed. But the thing is, like Paul W.S. Anderson he to me had the Zack Snyder syndrome where I liked him, and then his movies just got progressively worse and worse in my opinion. And it's true.
Well, mine is more of like a shock value. I didn't know he directed Soldier because I'm young.
Right.
I did know he did Resident Evil and Monster Hunter. So when I watched this movie, and then I was surprised that he did those movies. I'm like, he went from this to that? No way.
Right?
No way.
This is very shocking. That's why, like I said, it's like Sucker Punch all over again. Because I'm like, oh yeah, he did Event Horizon, Soldier, and Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, this next movie's going to be great. And Resident Evil, I'm like, okay, not bad. No, he's doing pretty good. Then he came out with the rest of the Resident Evil. I'm like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done in my book. I think he's done some other movies too that I didn't name, but you can check it on filmography. But those are the most prominent ones he's done. And yeah. But it was written by Philip Eisner. He wrote Sweet Girl and Mutant Chronicles. Never heard of either of them, but
Neither have I.
I'm not sure. I'm very sure this is probably his Ninth Symphony right here. This is his opus.
Saving Grace.
Yeah.
The Opus Magnus.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I never heard of Philip Eisner.
No.
It's the only movie I heard of him in, right?
I did hear it was it's kind of based on The Shining in space.
Oh yeah, this movie is
thought.
Depending on where you stand on this movie, it's either it's a ripoff of all these horror movies or it's paying homage to all these movies, depending on if you like it or hate it. Because if you hate it, you're saying it's a ripoff of The Shining, Aliens, like Alien, sorry, like the first Alien and Hellraiser and all these other classic horror movies.
It's funny because my shitty analogy is if Hellraisers had a baby with aliens. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but it just depends on your side of the fence. Some people say it's paying homage to it. Other people are saying no, it's a blatant rip-off of these fucking movies. And I'm thinking they're both right. I think.
To me, is my first. When you recommended this movie, it was my first time watching it, and I absolutely loved it. Didn't even think about it, but after researching the background of the movie, I was like, yeah, that makes sense, but I didn't really think of it as a ripoff, but they're more like homages, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I saw it. But like I said, there are some others, I'm like, yeah, I think he's paying homage to Shining, but I can see why people think he's ripping it off, because that is blatant. There are some blatant, like, okay, that is exactly like The Shining, right? But then you're like...
It's not as good as The Shining.
It's not as good as it.
You're talking about that one scene, right?
Well, we're talking about, like, we'll talk about later on, but yeah, there are some scenes where you're just like, yeah, he didn't do it as good. I see where you're trying to go for, Paul Anderson, but... wasn't as good. You didn't.
Doesn't feel as
you're not Kubrick. You're not Ridley Scott kind of
thing.
Doesn't
feel claustrophobic, and that it doesn't feel intense.
Yeah, but it's a great movie. It co-star. There's also a lot of co-stars in this, like a lot of other actors that people will know. There's Kathleen Quinlan. She was in Apollo 13. Got Oscar nominated for it too. And then she's also been she's been acting since the 70s too. So she's an absolute legend. Right, and then there's also stars Joelle Richardson. She was in Nip Tuck TV series, and then she's also in The Tudors, Red Sparrow, and then Richard T. Jones. He's in The Rookie and Narcos. I mean, if you see him, he was in Collateral too. He was the cop in Collateral that pulls him over.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's Richard T. Jones. Yeah, he's in Collateral, and then Jason Isaacs. Everyone knows Jason Isaacs. Well, they'll know his face. He played Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter. Now he plays a good villain, Jason Isaacs. And then it also stars Sean Pertwee. He was also in he played Alfred in the Gotham TV series. That's Smith, the guy that plays Smith. And then it stars Jack, also stars Jack Noseworthy.
Yeah, it's weird to see Smith with hair. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, so Jack Noseworthy, he's from U571 and The Surrogates. When you see him too, you're like, see the thing, you see these actors, you're like, oh, I've seen these people in other movies. I know them, but they don't know the
familiar
names.
Face,
so,
name.
Yeah, so we're trying to get their names out there. So, but this movie is a very contained horror, right? So it's in the spaceship and all that stuff. The story of how I saw this movie was I was with my best friend, and then he brought his girlfriend, and then she brought her friend. Well, our friend too. So it was like a double date. We didn't think it was going to be a horror movie because if you watch the trailer, it doesn't really it's got like action music and stuff. Doesn't really feel
rock techno.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like the tone of it on the trailer didn't look like it was a horror movie. It looked like a sci-fi action. So we're like, oh, cool. Well, 4 of us will watch it. And it was like a dead theater. It was like, we're like the only ones in there. Maybe like 2 other people somewhere. But well, basically, when I did opening, you can already tell it's a horror movie. And then we're just like, oh shit. And then the girls are just freaking out. And like the whole time we're watching the movie, because it's cold in the theater. It's empty. The sound is like crisp. And the girl I was with, she kept digging her nails into my arm every time because she kept pulling my hand because she was so scared. And every time like some tense scene or some jump scare, she'd like scratch my arm and I'd be like, oh! I actually scream too. So I'd be screaming at the movie and screaming in pain because of the girl I was with. But that's why I like this movie. Remember I was saying in the other episode, I said, I like movies that exceed my expectation.
Right.
I'm going in not expecting one thing and it's like, what? Like the Matrix or whatever, where you just walk in like, oh, I don't know. But I wasn't expecting horror, and I got horror in this movie. And this came out in 97, so like if you're watching it now, it probably won't be as scary.
You're desensitized by, from movies like Saw and all the other gory body horror movies.
I mean, it still holds up because most of the effects were practical, which is great. There's not much CGI.
I was surprised. Again, this was my first viewing. I was very surprised.
Yeah, I was shocked you haven't seen this movie before. Yeah. I was very surprised. Wait, you haven't seen Event Horizon? We're gonna do this.
Well, it's funny because I know about Titanic, and there's a whole thing with this movie and Titanic.
Right. Yeah, because they're both Paramount movies.
Yeah,
both from Paramount.
And this was a rush job because Titanic was coming out.
Yeah. And they were hoping this would have been a hit. I think everyone.
Also, I was 7 years old. I don't know if that ages me. It ages me.
It does age you.
I hope it.
Well, you can't say your age when you're talking to someone that's older than you. They're just going to be like, shut up. When you don't want people to say, oh, I'm so old, I'm turning 25.
Well, I'm just saying that was the reason why I didn't know of this movie.
Yeah, no, I know.
Come on, Freddie. Let's go.
No, but like I said, it was the horror was unexpected. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the storyline. I'll break it down what it's about. So, in 2047, a ship named the Event Horizon mysteriously appears after being missing for 7 years during its maiden voyage to fly to Neptune and disappear for 7 years. But now it's back. So a rescue vessel named the Lewis and Clark and its crew are tasked to investigate and rescue any survivors. That's the plot. It doesn't sound like a horror movie.
No, I was going to say with horror elements. That's the plot. Yeah. Excluding horror elements.
It sounds more like a mystery, like a space mystery. Like, ooh, I mean, it's eerie. It's like, oh, it's missing 7 years.
Or
where has it been for 7 years?
Like a thriller, maybe.
Yeah, but the synopsis, I would not think from that. I'd be like, oh yeah, straight up horror. Right. Like this movie is straight up horror.
Right.
This isn't like oh, it's like a PG-13 horror movie. No, this is like rated R.
For you gamers out there, when I watched this movie, I was this whole time Dead Space, Dead Space, Dead Space, Dead Space. This is Dead Space.
Yep.
If you guys have played Dead Space, and if you haven't, maybe go watch some gameplay. And if you get fucked up because of that gameplay, that's what you're coming into in this movie.
Yeah, it was. Well, the game developers did say they got inspired. Yeah. This is one of the inspirations for Dead Space was Event Horizon, and you can totally see it in there.
And Dead Space has a lot of horror, has a lot of
eeriness, the claustrophobia, because it's a rescue crew too.
In a ship,
and the guys are
quarters.
Because Isaac, isn't he
Isaac Clarke in the game Dead Space? He's just an engineer. Just started coming to explore what happened to this ship.
Right.
And, all hell breaks loose in the literal sense.
Yeah, it's very contained it's a haunted house in space. That's what it's like.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's a haunted house in space. And very misleading title, very misleading synopsis. So if you're going in thinking it's just it's straight up horror, and it's great. But the CGI that they do have in it, it's kind of...
I think it's dated,
but it still works.
I think it still holds up for what they gave.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't jarring to me coming from 2024 watching a 97 movie. It wasn't amazingly jarring. So I think it still holds up.
Since it's the first time you saw this, Mike, why did you like this movie? Why did you like Event Horizon?
Dead Space, Dead Space, Dead Space, Dead Space.
Yeah, we get it, Mike. You like Dead Space.
I really like that game.
Yeah, it's great.
And it kind of makes sense. I'm glad those two worlds were connected. I think that's awesome. Mainly because it's... I say Dead Space jokingly, but I haven't really seen a horror movie similar to that. Like, there are some, but not that type of horror. Like, I don't want to spoil anything yet, but that particular horror, the haunted house in space, I haven't really seen. It's normally when it's that science fiction, it's something chasing them, something tangible that's chasing them.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Right.
This is like a force.
Amazingly refreshing.
Yeah.
And that's an older movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we noticed like, hey, all our episodes haven't been past 2000, have been before 2000. So we gotta do like 90s and 80s here and like go back even further now.
That means a noir film's coming at you guys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Casablanca, and Gone with the Wind and all that stuff. Yeah, Mike will probably have not seen any of those movies yet.
I've watched noir films. I just can't at the top of my head. I don't know what movie.
There's some great ones out there. Yeah. Anything else about the movie you like besides the? Inspired.
Yeah, Morpheus is in it.
Yeah, and Dr. Grant. Jurassic Park meets The Matrix. The actors combined.
His name's Weir, right?
Yeah, Dr. Weir.
Yeah, he made a really good scientist. I don't want to go any further than that.
Yeah, he does. It's Sam Neill, though, right? He's a great actor. Laurence Fishburne, like those two, they're great. Even in this movie.
Sir Sam Neill to you.
Is it Sir Sam Neill?
I think it's a sir now.
Okay, I didn't know that. My bad.
I'm like 80-20. I'm pretty sure he's a sir.
Yeah, okay. But this movie, like you said, it's got that horror elements to it. Yeah, because I like it too, because it's very visceral. Like, it's in the visual, it's action packed. It doesn't. I like the whole mystery build up. Like, oh, what happened to the crew? Because it keeps you intrigued. You're like, oh, what is going on? Like, it is pretty eerie. Like you see the ship, it's like abandoned, it's creepy, like the whole setup of it. You're just like, okay, let's see where this goes.
Also,
Like the atmosphere of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sorry, going back to your original question, it's not a miss, but what I really liked about the movie is it's not even subtle. I wish it was longer. There's not many movies I wish that were longer.
Yeah, I wish this was longer too.
Yeah, I was like, I wish this was 20, 30 minutes more longer.
Oh yeah.
Just to explore the world and what's going on.
More character build up.
Yeah.
And
how many times have you guys at home like, oh man, I wish this movie was 10 minutes, 15 minutes longer?
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare.
Yeah, more as time it's like, when the fuck is this movie over?
Yeah. Like Transformers 3.
Yeah.
I was like, can this movie be done now? I want to go home.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god. Yeah, there are some movies where I'm just like, are you serious right now? Even like Sucker Punch. That movie should have only been 10 minutes long.
The frugal person in me refuses to leave a movie 30 minutes early to get my money back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I like this. I like their set pieces. Because even their sets were designed practically. It's not barely in CGI, like the warp drive or the gravity drive.
The meat grinder.
Yeah. And then like just when you first see the Event Horizon ship, it does look like a haunted house because it's dark. It's haunted house in space. It's floating there. It's dark. It's completely no power, but futuristic.
Yeah.
But it has like gothic designs with it too. It's very cool.
Yeah, like the inside looks like a futuristic church.
Yeah, it looks like a chapel. Well, even the ship itself looks like a cross.
Yeah.
The director and they did want to put like religious elements into it because it's like a ghost movie.
Windshield is a cross. Yeah.
The whole ship itself is a cross. The Event Horizon. If
I
you
didn't
see
even notice that.
it's a cross. Yeah, it's
awesome.
crazy. Yeah, and then like actually, fun fact on that is that the designer of the ship, the person they hired to create the ship, he actually did a 3D scale of the Notre Dame, and then he just pulled it apart. Made it, and then put designs on it, and he made it into a cross. Like, so it's actually pulled away from like he took the whole 3D model and he just pulled it apart piece by piece and just made it into the Event Horizon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I didn't know that either. I had to look that up, and I was like, wow, that's cool. See, that's how you know that people take their job seriously and they have like there's like a meaning to it. It's cool. Yeah. And the thing I like about this too is the gore.
The gore.
Like here, I'm not. Yeah. I don't mind gore if it serves a purpose. Like it's like
it's part of the story.
Part of the story. It's not just gory, just to be gory sake. I don't like gore. Like I don't like watching gory movies. Just like Saw.
You don't like Saw?
I like the first two, but then 3, 4, 5, they just got carried away. I'm just like, okay, this is just being gross for being gross now. Like how can we make it grosser? Like how can we make it worse?
Like more shocking.
Yeah, as opposed to like just build the story and then build the gore.
I almost
the story, but
wish there was more gore in this movie.
No, I do too. Because there are some. We'll
and how many people say that? I wish it was more bloodier, more viscera everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we both know about the whole cut of the movie. Like it was originally the original cut was 130 minutes long. It's only 96 now, so he had to cut like 40 minutes of footage, and they were mainly all the gory parts. Because apparently, when he showed it to the test audiences and the executives, they'll say this is too disturbing. Cut it.
Yeah, if you're a part of that test audience, I hate you.
Yes, I'm pretty sure every fan of Event Horizon hates you. If you guys made Paul Anderson cut all that stuff out because
and make it shorter.
Yeah, I made it shorter because man, I agree. I wish this movie was at least half an hour longer. Right. But apparently, the director, after it came out, the director tried to that's when the cult following happened because it bombed, unfortunately, in the theater. Right, it bombed, which sucks. But then when it came out on DVD and VHS and all that, it got a huge cult following. And then people were asking like, "Is there a director's cut?" And then the director tried to find it, but the footage was in a salt mine in Transylvania.
Lost in time. Yeah.
And then all the arid, like the atmosphere there of the environment, it dried up all the film and all destroyed, unusable. And I was just like, oh, it sucks. Like, who the fuck? Because apparently down in the salt mines and stuff, because it's dry and it's dark and it's cool, but it's been lost to time, like you said. But it's all the salt and everything just destroyed all the film, so you can never do it.
Yeah, because some of those gory scenes are extended. There's more character development between Miller, JD, Justin.
Yeah.
Like you find out more about their fears and about them personally, which I believe that would have added so much more. That's what I was looking for. I'm like, I want to know more, man. You can't just you can't just bake the apple in front of me and not give me a bite.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of putting it because because this movie's still great. I love this movie, but I'm like, imagine how good it would have been if it was still like half an hour longer. It would have been so much better.
That good half an hour longer, not like an extra chase scene.
Yeah,
you know what
like,
I mean?
Like there's some random dialogue like, oh, hey, how's it going? Good. You going to bed now? Yep. Okay, see you later.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
But like important stuff or more horror elements into it. But yeah, and then apparently any footage that Paramount had left because the movie bombed, they just threw everything away.
Bastards.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh man, really?
If you're a part of that decision, I hate you guys.
Mike hates everyone that didn't make this movie what it could have been.
Right. They should remake this movie.
Yeah. Well, they are. TV series. Making a TV, like a horror.
I saw the
TV
Lost
series.
in Space TV series. I was kind of disappointed.
Is it? I never watched it. I saw the movie, like not the original six. There was an original TV series, and then there's the movie with Joey.
There's an older movie, and then the guy from Friends. Yeah,
Joey and William Hurt and all them were in that. Oh, that one's okay. It wasn't horrible, but they are making. I've heard they're making an Event Horizon series.
You guys gamers know when a movie becomes a game, you're just like, this is utter trash. Or when a game becomes a movie, and this movie's utter trash. You know what I mean? It doesn't always convert.
Yeah. Well, video games are the next big things right now. Not comic book movies anymore.
Yeah,
it's
everyone's
video
tired of
game
superhero movies.
Yeah, it's more. Well, I just think they've just got better writers and shit for the video game movies as opposed to like the comic book ones they have right now because they got like
you can
Last of Us.
flush out a story.
Yeah.
I'm going back. I'm just worried about Event Horizon becoming a TV show.
We'll see how it. I think it's a TV show. I'm not sure if it's a movie or TV show, but I know they're trying to remake it. They are
because the pacing to the movie is really good.
Yeah, it is
Really well done.
Yeah, and because the plot holds up, right? It's like I said, it does borrow a lot of elements from other horror movies, but what a horror movie doesn't.
Yeah.
It's all tropes, right? But everyone borrows from everyone. It's hard to find an original horror movie nowadays, really.
No, it's hard to find an original
good horror movie.
Original content that has all original stuff. It's practically impossible.
Yeah, it's possible now.
It can be an original story, but everything used to tell that story has already been done. Yeah.
You're just doing it a different way. You're telling it in a different way. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then for all those Warhammer fans, I'm not sure there's a lot of Warhammer fans listening to this, but you play Warhammer?
I know of it. I'm actually excited for Space Marines 2 to come out.
Okay, so yeah, because is it called Warhammer 40,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
40,000.
I'm not. I mean, I didn't play Warhammer. I know of Warhammer because I used to work at those video game stores back then, so I know a lot about Warhammer and stuff. But to all you Warhammer fans, actually, this movie is considered like a prequel. The fans consider this a prequel to that game.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about it until you told me.
Well, I read up on it on I think it was Reddit.
That's awesome.
I forgot what it was, but
I trust everything on Reddit.
You're like Ryan from Game Night. Mike believes everything he reads. Thank you.
Thank you. Callbacks.
Callback. But I do like I said, the practical, like the hyperdrive, how they designed that. That is so cool. Like, what do you think of the hyperdrive thing? The gravity drive, the design of
course, the scientist has to make it look freaky.
Right?
Could have made it like
goth
the
and stuff
outer
too.
ship looks nice and futuristic, but that particular section of the ship is the most freakiest part. Yeah. And it's like not even for like a scientific standpoint. Why does it have to look freaky? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, who designed this? Like, well, you find out Sam Neill's, he's the designer of the ship.
Yeah.
That's why he's back. That's why he's on the mission.
What do they call it? The gravity
drive.
Gravity drive. And there's like spikes.
Yeah, the spikes. Yeah, and it there's 3 rings and then the ball in the center. It looks looks like a medieval thing though. It looks medieval.
Yeah,
the Gothic.
The spherical walls all have like designs and etchings.
Yeah,
it's like circuit boards, but it doesn't look like the circuit boards you're used to. Like, whoa.
It looks very like they got spikes on them, so it looks very medieval, like you're in a space castle.
Yeah,
you know,
you look like you're in a torture chamber. It kind of reminds me of the inside of an Iron Maiden.
Yeah, good.
That's how I thought of it.
Pretty much, but like the meat grinder hallway, because you just see these lights swirling around. But what's crazy about that whole set? It's an actual set. It's not CGI.
Yeah,
they built.
That's why it looks great.
That's why it looks amazing. Even to this day, you're just looking at it like you can't say it looks fake. I'm like, no, motherfucker, that's a real set. Yeah. You can't say it looks fake. That's real. Right. They designed that thing. They built that thing.
Something's gonna go down here. Mm-hmm. Just the aesthetics of that set. Excuse me. But yeah, well, as a scientist, I don't know why he had to make it so freaky looking.
Yeah, I understand from a horror movie standpoint.
Yeah, makes sense.
But if for practical, this was actually happening, like why the fuck would you design like that? Like, do you want to scare the shit out of your crew? Like,
Oh,
do you want them not to do their job because they're too scared to go in there?
one more note. This movie has one of my favorite quotes in it, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, I want to hear this quote. I don't, you never told me like this, but yeah, but like even the sound, like everything about this movie, the technical aspect of this movie, it's well done.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
practical, the sound, you know, is everything. The lighting, like the mood, the tone they set for the ship. Like when you get on that ship, you're like,
It's dark,
fuck.
dark.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
And then you're like in there with them. You're like, oh fuck, what's around the corner? What's that? But it holds up still. Like there's not many space horror movies that I love.
The foreshadowing and symbolism in this movie is really good too.
Yeah, they are. I guess we can't go into those symbolisms yet, but
The part where we shine.
yeah, right.
We're gonna fly free here.
Yeah. Well, even the acting's great. I like the I like the actors. You know, I like all
Fishburne.
them, all the characters. Yeah, you can. That's what a lot of people say. This is like Aliens because it's like the colonial Marines. You know, like in James Cameron Aliens, where it's like they're all camaraderie and stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, it's camaraderie on a ship. You got to have camaraderie. It's not an Aliens ripoff. It's just that's what you would be like in any kind of like isolated area. If you're underwater in space, you better get along or else you're fucked.
Yeah, you want it somewhat copacetic.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be.
You gotta have the banter and stuff. Like that's how they would be. But everyone always says, "Oh, it's like aliens." I'm like, yeah, well, I know it's like aliens, but like
most people are like aliens when you're working in a team.
Yeah, but it's just like
they've been working forever.
Yeah, the rescue operation, they're comfortable with each other. They talk shit, and you know they make jokes and stuff like that. But that's just the way it is. But no, I just mean some people always say, "Oh, this movie's ripping off that scene."
Because
Like
people
aliens.
forget that movies don't necessarily rip each other off. Movies are based off what happens in reality, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what happens.
teamwork. If it requires teamwork will be illustrated, demonstrated. You know.
Yeah, you have to,
Specialty.
and you have to show that to show the crew. Who are these people? Who's the Joker? Who's the serious one? Who's the commander? Who's second in command? That's what that whole scene does.
Like Dr. Weir. He's a scientist. He's very well versed, well knowledgeable. It's showcased in his character because that's what scientists normally are in real life. It's not that we took this scientist from this other movie because we thought that scientist was smart and cool. No, that's what they normally are. Researchers are very knowledgeable intellectuals of real life, right?
But I get why they always do those kinds of like opening scenes where the people are talking amongst each other. They have to show the audience the crew.
Yeah.
How they
give
are.
them a little bit of character.
Yeah, and then
they
you
can't
see-
be strangers. As a viewer, I can't.
Yeah.
I need to know them. They can't be strangers, and it doesn't make sense for them to be strangers as well.
But yeah, so,
within the-
and it's a good way to show exposition. A good way to show like these are the characters. This is who it is. And then like you see Dr. Weir, you can tell, oh, he's the new guy. He's not even part of the crew. He's just joining the crew just by how like you can tell like Miller doesn't like him right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right, but all that stuff. But yeah, like you get to see like, okay, he's newer to the crew, so obviously he's not part of the crew. So, but when it comes to these meeting the crew things, but a lot of people always compare it to the aliens, colonial marines, like a sci-fi crew. They always compare it to, not always, but a lot of people compare it to aliens. But but the crew is great. You get to see them. You get to see their character.
Oh. I'm so sorry. I thought.
Oh my! Left this phone on. How horrible is that?
It was on.
That is like.
I don't know how that phone call.
That is like the hugest taboo to record a podcast. But the actors are great, and you get to see that. Yeah, 'cause you got Mama Bear. You can say when they call her Mama Bear, like okay, she's obviously the one that takes care of everybody. And you got Baby Bear. He's probably the newest recruit.
I thought of it as because he's the youngest and she's a mom. She took care of.
Yeah.
And then that's why they got their names.
I
digress.
I just thought of it as Mama Bear just takes care of the whole crew. Like she's just the mom of the ship.
Yeah.
And like Miller's the dad, like the Captain Miller, but call her Mama Bear because she's the caring one, nurturing one. And then I thought Baby Bear was just like, yeah, he's the youngest, but I also thought that it's because he's the rookie.
Yeah.
They're taking care of him.
Yeah.
Because everyone calls him that. We're coming, Baby Bear.
Yeah.
Everyone calls him that, right? But it's only short. It's only like 5 minutes long with her. And then they get right into the mission of what they're doing there.
Yeah, the pacing is good. Again, could be longer. More character development between that dialogue.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character will be probably Miller, number one. Miller and Stark were my favorites.
I liked DJ.
DJ is he's the doctor.
I don't know. I liked seeing that actor in a good guy role, but I also liked him in kind of like a strict focus role.
Yeah.
I gravitated to that character.
I like all the characters. They're all great characters. I just like Stark and Miller the most. I don't know why. Well, because I like DJ too. The only ones I was just kind of like, oh, whatever. It was because they didn't get enough screen time. Is Smith?
Yeah.
He gets some screen time, but I just didn't really.
I don't know if that was spoiler territory, but yeah, he's not on the show.
Yeah, but I like them all. Like, they're all good. They all do the roles well, and like they each have a distinct. Like, Smith is the fuck this ship. He's the guy that's like, I hate. And the DJ's he's the more like, what do you call it, educated? I guess he's the one that's like knows Latin. He knows he's like the doctor. He's very like calm and stoic.
He always has priorities set.
Yeah. And then Weir's like the obsessed scientist.
Weird.
Yeah. Yes. Weird. No, yeah, because he's like the more like things are brewing in his mind. Like something's going on with him, right? And then you got Miller, you can tell he's like the captain. Like he takes no shit from nobody. Yeah. He's the captain. And he's a smart captain, actually. Like,
I feel like everyone has shit going through their mind.
Yeah.
You just can't tell right away what that type of shit is.
I just like Miller because he actually plays a good captain. Like the decisions he makes, it's like, that's what a captain would do. That's
why he has my favorite quote in any movie,
right?
Any horror movie.
Yeah, and then because most horror movies, people make shitty, stupid decisions. Like no one would ever do that in real life. Like no one would ever do that. They would do this.
And I feel Miller does the rational,
all of them
decisions, irrational,
in a horrible situation, right? They try their. That's what I liked about this movie is because all the characters, they're not stupid.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like shit happens to them, but out of their control. Right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like trying to make the actual decisions to like escape or whatever,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. You're not like, why are they doing that?
They could leave.
I mean, there are some parts where I'm just like, but that's like the horror movie cliches. But at the same time, I'll explain it down later on. But
I was gonna say they can leave, and they're trying to, but stuff happens.
Yeah. So it does, and like so it pays, like we said, pays homage or rips off Hellraiser, Alien.
I'm gonna go with homage.
Yeah, The Shining, 2001: Space Odyssey. Like these are the lists of movies that I found that were people say it borrows from or rips off. But I'm like, I see them. I see that in all those movies. But you know what? I always wondered. This is a movie that's like they call it the twin movies. Have you heard of twin movies?
No.
So twin movies are basically movies that come out. Two movies come out either the same year or a year apart that are same plot, just different delivery of it. So for this one. This movie came out, I think, a year before Sphere came out. Did you watch Sphere with Dustin Hoffman, Sharon Stone, and Samuel Jackson?
I don't think so.
So it's they find an alien sphere underwater, and then these scientists go underwater this time though to explore a mysterious sphere that someone discovered, and it plays with their mind.
Oh,
yeah. So it came out a year after that, but it's based on a Michael Crichton book. So the book came out before Event Horizon. So it's like Event Horizon ripped off the Sphere book. But then Sphere movie ripped off Event Horizon. It's kind of like that. Whatever it was, but it came out the same year. Kind of like Armageddon and Deep Impact. They all came out the same year.
Who's that girl in Twilight? The main...
Oh, Kristen Stewart.
She has an underwater movie.
Yeah, Underwater. It's called Underwater,
yeah. That movie really reminded me of Event Horizon.
Oh, okay.
When you said twins, I was like, is that it? But then you said same year.
Yeah, it usually comes out the same year or like a year or so apart. But this movie came out the same year or a year before Sphere did. But it's got the same plot elements.
Well, I guess I gotta go watch the Sphere.
Yeah, Sphere's okay. The book is great. The book is amazing. Well, unfortunately, this movie bombed. I mean, most of the movies we talk about always... Sorry. Most of the movies we talk about always bomb. It's like, fuck. But that's the thing I hate about movies, though, because like you got movies that are so shitty, but they make so much fucking money.
Isn't that like most cult classics, though?
Mm-hmm. They bomb in the theaters. Yeah. Like The Thing, Boondock Saints, The Thing, this one, Dread.
I can't believe Dread bombed.
Yeah.
I can't believe this movie bombed.
Predestination,
kind of makes sense. Right? Titanic.
Yeah. Well, this movie bombed. Yeah. Well, look at all the movies that came out. You know what this movie was competing with when it came out in the summer? Because it came out in August, I think, right? It's competing with like Men in Black, Jurassic Park 2, like The Lost World.
Damn.
LA Confidential, Face Off.
Damn, I've seen 3 of the 4.
And then there's Titanic that came out that year, right? Yeah. But it was placed in the worst place. Like, I don't know why they don't release
in the
this.
middle of it,
Yeah, I'm like, why
or,
did?
like-
Yeah, like in August. Like, why didn't you release this in like fucking October?
Yeah, during
Halloween, man.
Halloween. Yeah,
People will watch this because this is a great Halloween movie.
yeah, I agree.
I mean, this movie scared me. I mean, it might not scare people now if this is like the first time watching it, but I watched this when I was like a teenager, so it scared me.
I felt isolated.
But yeah, because it only made, the budget was $60 million and it only made 42, unfortunately.
On opening or altogether?
Altogether, worldwide,
Damn.
42.
That's sad.
60 million budget,
Well,
which sucks.
it's part of my cult classic now.
But now it's considered a cult classic. Like, and they say the movie was ahead of its time too. Like this movie. What was that quote you said that Kurt Russell said to the director?
The director was
Well, for context, though, Kurt Russell was making a movie with him after this one called Soldier. So he was talking to him about it. But yeah, you said something about this.
So the director was bummed out, and Kurt Russell said on the lines of, "Hey, this is one of those movies you'll be happy that you made 15 years later." Right? And it ended up being true.
Yeah. And if you get that kind of advice from Kurt motherfucking Russell,
Yeah.
hell yeah, take it.
This movie's good.
But yeah, it is sad. It sucks. It does suck. All right. And but this movie, if you haven't seen it yet, me and Mike, well, I'm pretty sure Mike recommends this movie, right, Mike? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you would definitely recommend this for any sci-fi buff or any horror buff, because there's a lot of science in this movie too. There's science in it, but if you're a horror buff, definitely you'll like it. If you love like The Shining, Hellraiser, those kinds of body horror movies too, definitely.
It's up your alley.
It's up your alley, yeah. But it's scary, and it's 90 minutes, so it's not gonna take up a lot of your time. And like we said, great characters, great set pieces, great mood. Sets the tone, sets the mood, the lighting, everything's great about it. The special effects still hold up. Well, the practical effects, still hold up. Special effects, hit or miss, but still looks good. But yes, if you have the 96 minutes you have 96 minutes to spare, definitely give Event Horizon a watch, right? But if you have kids or you do not like horror, give it a wide berth.
Them anyways.
Or Mike says, be a horrible parent and show it to them anyway.
Look at me, it turned out great.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Don't laugh.
But yeah, so we're going to get into the spoiler territory now, but let us know what you thought of it in the comments. All right, welcome back to the spoiler section of Event Horizon. So, but even the very first scene, you already know you're in a horror movie, because it shows the Event Horizon, like completely abandoned, no one there, it's completely no power, shit's floating around, gravity's off, and then you see that spinning, mutilated body, and it's just spinning because it's just spinning stuck in because there's no gravity on the ship, and then it just goes right into I think it's the eyes or the mouth, the camera.
I can't remember.
Because it gets closer and closer to it, it's spinning back. It's like, and then the camera just zooms into the mouth, and you see the body. It's all like mangled up, no eyes. His mouth is like completely open from like he died screaming. Yeah, and you're just like, and it has that scream sound effect. And
the famous scream. Yeah,
and you're just like, oh fuck,
we're in it.
Yeah, that's what.
Let's go.
Me and my friends, when we watched it, were like, oh fuck, this is a horror movie. But it's funny because it was rated 14A in Canada. Right? Yeah, it wasn't rated R, because if it was rated R, we wouldn't have been able to see it. But in Canada, for some reason, it's 14A, and we wouldn't have been able to see it.
Yeah, right.
Because it's...
Also, I was 7 years old.
And I'm very shocked. But I think in the States and stuff, it was rated R.
But it's a good way to set up the tone of the movie right away.
Yeah. But the trailers were very misleading, and that's why I was just like, fuck, you didn't tell me it was a horror movie? You can't it's not a horror movie, man. Your trailer is very misleading. All right. So yeah, but that's cool. You get to see it sets it up really nice, the tone of the movie, like you said, and you get to see the ship, because the whole movie, most of the movie takes place on that ship on the Event Horizon.
Then what is it? The intro credits.
Yeah, the intro credits are very, like, even the music,
the rock techno.
Yeah, the music also doesn't fit the tone of the movie.
Shit hits hard, man. If you're into that.
Yeah, do you guys remember techno? That was house back in the day for my generation.
I still listen to it. Call it trash if you want. Just remember, if you do, I hate you.
But it has that music, and I'm just like, that doesn't fit the tone of the movie.
And you get your first symbolism. The eyes, the vortex, and spirals into like a pupil.
Well, yeah, because the whole eyes are the windows to the soul.
Yeah,
that's what they always say, right? So yes, so eyes have a huge symbolism in this movie.
And they're everywhere. Yeah. Look around, you might miss them.
Yeah, there's eyes everywhere.
You might have to pause it.
Yeah, and then it opens up to Dr. Weir.
In the padded white room.
Yeah, that was, I didn't notice that. Like, you said it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we were just talking earlier that I felt that padded white room was foreshadowing, Dr. Weir's demise.
Yeah, his slow descent into madness, pretty much, Because he is Dr. Weir is played by Sam Neill, and he was the designer of the ship. So now he has to go on the Lewis and Clark, it's captained by Laurence Fishburne's character, or Captain Miller. He's what do you call those? Advisor. He's the advisor. He's the one because he knows all about the ship. He knows every inch of that ship because he designed it. So yeah, and like you said, the padded room. I did not notice that, and I'm like, that is a good. Whether the director meant to do that, that still makes sense.
Yeah, because then
it's a great foreshadowing.
Room. He also goes through that first hallucination that we see, right?
Yeah. It's like the ship's already calling to him because it's back. As soon as it comes back, he's having these dreams now.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like the ship's calling to him. And I like the setup of good exposition. Like, it's a good way of explaining stuff through action. Like, he's like shaving with that blade, and he kind of stops for a bit when he looks at it.
Yeah.
Because and he looks at the bathtub.
Tension there. Yeah.
And he looks at the bathtub too. So there's like, okay, what's
the connection there?
Connection, but something's going on. And then you see like a shrine of his wife with all those photos.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's funny. First mistake, he takes that photo.
I know what you're going with this.
He puts it there. I'm like, why do you have two photos?
So when we were looking at the photo of his wife, he says, "I miss you," and he puts the photo back on the shrine with all the photos. But there's another picture of that exact same photo on the shrine. So I'm like, why do you have two? Yeah, why do you have two?
This is what happens. Like, all directors do it when you have smart viewers, like very in tune with what they're watching. We'll notice. Like, this is not even me like watching it under great detail and analysis.
My question, when I thought, I'm like, how could they not have seen it?
Right.
I mean,
how's that missed?
How did the set deck guy miss it?
You have 60 million.
Yeah. How did the props department miss that?
Who missed that?
It's props department. They're the ones that, because anything they handle, any things there, it's props. But it's like,
you have the actor right there. Just take a shit ton of photos. Take 100 photos and just use 10. That's all you have to do.
And why didn't Sam Neill go, yo, motherfuckers, I'm holding the same picture as the one on here?
Literally tacks it right beside it. I'm like,
It's not even like blurred out. It's not even on the side somewhere. Right. It's not cut off. It's like apparent.
They could have just like on the crumpled up the photo. I'm assuming you guys all know what happened. Like he could have just crumpled it up because he was angry at what happened at the time. And now he has a brand new photo. That would have made more sense. Little nitpick, anything.
But it's very
photo.
It takes you out immediately of that kind of. It's supposed to be a sad scene, but when I saw it, I was like, why is there the same photo? It's not like it's a different color or different size. It's literally
black and white,
the exact same photo of his wife side by side. And me and Mike are thinking, what the fuck? Who didn't notice that? How did that get past the director, the actor, the prop department? Like, they have to go through the layers of people to see it. So how did they miss it? Or they just didn't give a fuck?
I'm thinking it's the fourth one. Post. It's all green screen.
Well, it's 97, so I don't. That probably would have cost them a lot of money just to do that fucking thing in CGI.
This whole section apparently used a third of their budget. Right.
Oh yes, So you get to see Dr. Weir waking up, and he shaves, and you see that whole what's going on with his wife. Obviously, we know she's not around anymore. Right? You don't know why, but she's not around. And then you see the camera panning out of his living quarters out the window, and he's in space, and it's like a spinning space station.
I actually got dizzy watching that part.
That's cool. Like, it's a cool shot.
I was like, whoa, I'm actually discombobulated. I'm like kind of getting vertigo from watching it zoom out and spinning.
Yeah, it's very cool. And you did say it did take up a third of their budget. And it was only like 30 seconds. It's a 30-second shot and took up a third of their budget. And I'm like,
it's crazy. 60 million.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus. Why would you do that?
$20 million right there.
Yeah, but it's a great shot. But at the same time, it really doesn't do much for the story. It's just an establishing shot.
But before that establishing shot, he opens curtains or whatever.
Oh, the curtains, yes.
Yeah, and it's the Doom swish sounds from the older Doom with the door opening sound.
That's what you told me. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's like
this movie already.
Yeah,
I had to research. I'm like, yo, that sounds like Doom, and then I had to research it. Like, oh, it is from Doom.
Yeah,
sick.
I gotta watch it now because I gotta hear it because I love the Doom video game, but I didn't catch that. But I get it if they did that established shot for the Event Horizon, and they spent a third of the budget on the ship, like panning out, and you see it because most of the movie takes place on that ship. That International Space Station he's on, It's only for that shot, and he's off that ship, not the thing now.
Yeah,
so
they could have just like came out the window, zoomed out a little bit,
Yeah.
established that he's on a space station because you can see the Earth, and that's it.
Yeah. But if you're gonna establish a shot with that much money, I would probably do it on the Event Horizon.
Yeah,
like do a whole panning shot of the entire.
When they get to
ship.
Neptune with the ship, close up.
Because that shot was cool. When you see
scale.
Yeah, when you see the Lewis and Clark panning the light across the Event Horizon, just like how haunting it looks, you're like, oh shit,
and how big the ship is.
How big it is. Yeah. But yeah, so that's establishing Dr. Weir's character. You see him there, and then you cut to the crew, right? Yep. You cut to Captain Miller and his crew, and Captain Kriller. Captain Miller, well, it's Laurence Fishburne. He always plays a badass, cool.
He's such a dickhead
yeah,
to
him. don't. Yeah, well, I can see why. It explains later why he is a dickhead to him, because they were supposed to be on leave.
Yeah, vacation,
and then
a lot of people have stuff. Mama Bear wants to see her kid.
Yeah,
supposed to have her for Christmas or in the summer or whatever, or for a year, I think it was.
And then you get right off the bat that Captain Miller is all about his crew.
Yeah,
he is.
Which explains later why.
Yeah. And that's what I like about Captain Miller's character. You already know just by him how he talks to his crew. He's stern to them. Like he's an asshole when they're not doing their job. But at the same time, he's...
Can I get dressed first? No. Or do you mind if I get dressed first?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Because they still have banter and stuff, but they still respect him as the captain, and he still plays the captain very well. But at the same time, you can tell he cares about them too.
Business. Let's just get it done.
Yeah, like, lives are at stake. We're rescuing these people, right? Kind of thing.
Let's get it done. Go home.
Yeah, and you get to, and then you'll know later on in the movie why he loves his crew so much, why he sacrificed himself, like why he would die for his crew.
Horror element.
Yeah, his fear,
his regret.
Yeah, and then he doesn't like Dr. Weir. Rather better like each other.
No one likes Dr. Weir.
Yeah, because he's the one that...
Which makes sense. There's a movie trope.
Yeah.
No one likes the new guy.
No one likes the new guy. And it's not really his fault, though, either, though, because he probably got hired
I felt like that at first. I was like, why are they being a dick to this guy?
Well,
he just wants to say hello and thank everyone. And,
but he's not
Captain
the one...
was like, I don't fucking time for this, man. Yeah, no one has time for this.
He didn't plan the mission.
Yeah.
I think they hired to go, Dr. Weir, your ship is back. We need you on the ship to go find it.
But you know what the fun fact here is? In the deleted scenes...
Mm-hmm.
They said they found the Event Horizon and they're going to send a team, but he like forced himself onto the mission because he's like, what better specialist aside from me? I designed the ship.
Right.
That's why he didn't even have to be on that ship, but he forced himself on.
Okay. Because I have the DVD copy. I didn't watch. There's no special features on it, which sucks. Yeah. So I wanted to, but I'm going to eventually buy that 4K one that came out not too long ago. But I didn't get to see the deleted scenes. So he wasn't actually hired to go on there. He forced himself on. He convinced them.
The deleted scenes is green room and like most of the stuff is missing. But yeah, they bring him into this room. The colonel and this lady talk to him, and he like forces himself onto the mission.
Oh, well, good to know. But at the same time, it's like it's not really his fault because they were going to go there anyway without him. So why are they mad at him? At the same time, that's why I didn't really like. Why guys being dicks to him? He's just. But then at the end, you're like. Yeah, they should have just killed him or the fucking ship.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck this motherfucker. Spaced his ass, But I like about these futurist movies that came out a long time ago is the dates.
2040 and
2047 is coming up, so that's only what 23 years away.
Yeah.
So by that time we should have already
Blade Runner, right? 2020.
Yeah. And well, in this one it said 2015 they established a colony on the moon or something or on Mars. You're like.
Wow. We haven't established colony on the moon and it's much closer. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then 24/7 we're gonna have achieved light speed travel.
I did like that on their uniforms they have imaginary flags.
Oh, did they? Oh, yes, they do. Yes, that's right. They're not actual.
I was looking at like this person has this flag. It doesn't look like that. And then I found out later that they established like futuristic lore. I think there's 55 stars now on
on the American flag. Yeah. There's like 55 states now.
On the guy's shoulder piece and
that's cool. No, good detail because if it's in the future, there should be some changes to people's to the world.
Yeah,
for good or for better or worse.
That was good, but the next mistake they missed when we were talking about outside.
Yeah.
Or do you want to?
No, you go ahead.
After he gets the injection, you're gonna without the tube, your body's gonna withstand 40 Gs and your skeleton will be liquefied. Then he gets out and all the cups and the
Everything's
posters on
fine.
the wall are all good.
Nothing. It's like they were just traveling normal speed.
Yeah, I was like, why?
Yeah.
We were talking about predestination. When you establish the rules of your world, you have to abide by them.
The laws of physics, right?
It would have been more believable if like they showed a quick scene where everything gets covered up and shuttered down, right? It would make more sense. Like, oh, okay, like
or
who knows the signs to that, but everything was held together.
Or like I said, they shouldn't have even said the whole. If you're going this way, you can just say it's gonna be a long journey. We're going to these pods to sleep, hibernation, kind of like aliens and Alien.
And then let us do the math off screen. You know, sure.
Yeah,
if we do the
don't-
math off screen, makes sense.
Like, don't tell us how fast you're going. All you gotta say is like, we have to go. We're going to go on these pods to sleep it off because it's why be up for that long doing nothing?
I'm telling you, if you have smart viewers,
They'll pick it up.
Yeah,
They'll contest it.
We're gonna treat it like we're vultures. We're gonna pick it apart.
Yeah, I still love it. Still love the movie.
Yeah, me
These
too.
are just nitpicks, but they do
mistakes.
take you out and they give me a good chuckle. I'm like, I don't like if I made a movie, I'm pretty sure I'll have like 50,000 mistakes in my fucking movie. If I ever made a movie, you know, it's like, okay, you know, give credit where credit's due, but at the same time, we'll pick it up. And it does take you out of the movie because it makes you laugh or something. It's supposed to be serious, like that.
It didn't take me out of the movie, but I was like laughing and going, "What the?" in places where I shouldn't be going, "What the?" You know?
Well, no, I laughed at the fucking same picture. And that scene,
me too. I was like, "What the hell?"
But that scene's supposed to be serious. It's supposed to like give a set of tone of like, oh, something tragic happened to his wife, but I can't see it because I'm too busy laughing at the two same pictures. Right? So it's like, oh shit, you know, it's like, well, why is there two pictures there? That's all I'm thinking about now. All right, so they get put in stasis, or they get put in like hibernation, the pods, stasis. That set piece of them floating in the pod, that looked eerie too. The way they just float in there, and it's like the blue light.
Where you see, what's his name, already in the tube. Cooper. Yeah,
and you just see them. It just looks, it looks, what do you call it? Unnerving. I don't know. It's just when I see all five,
unnatural.
Yeah, just the way they looked. It's just that set piece was really good. Just setting up that. Oh, that's creepy. Right, just the way they did that. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Nice design. Right, and then and he wakes up. That'd be the worst thing ever if you woke up early from your fucking stasis.
Yeah, and no one's there to help you.
No one's there to help you there, and you're like the new guy on the ship too.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
All right, so Dr. Weir wakes up. This is on the Lewis. We're not on the Event Horizon yet. Obviously, they're still going there. But
Lewis and Clark,
yeah. But there's a lot of jump scares in this movie.
Yep.
And each one got me in the theater. In the theater, every jump scare got me. It was like I jumped on every single one. I'm like, oh fuck! Even though they were like there just to be there, they weren't actually, because jump scares can be done well, and jump scares can just be for cheesy effect, just a cheap, just cheap thrill.
Yeah,
it's stupid. But this one every single one got me, like the glove to the mask, like right.
Dead Space.
Dead Space. And then but in the ship, that's when he sees his wife
again.
This is what I knew as a dream, because I'm like, there's no fucking way in hell, if this was real, if I saw that coming off stage, if I see a naked woman on like the bridge on a chair soaking wet, I'm not gonna approach it. I'm gonna grab a fucking gun.
I'm like, whoa, naked lady on a ship.
Yeah,
we're all sleeping.
We're all sleeping. But that is. But then you find out it's just a dream.
Yeah.
Right.
And fun fact there.
Yeah.
The eyes on this monitor.
Yeah.
When I was watching the scene, I'm like, wait, what are those fucking eyes? Yeah. And I had to go back 10 seconds and pause. I'm like, those are eyes.
So yeah, because when Weir approaches the woman, it's his wife.
Yeah.
His dead wife. It's a ghost now, but you see her reflection on the computer screen. Yeah, but then you see those eyes on the top, and you're like,
and they're
whose
clear.
Eyes are those?
We're not even interpreting these as eyes. They're clear eyes staring back.
There is no. I don't think it's not a mistake by the director. It's meant to be there. Like I interpret it as the ship's watching him.
Yeah.
In his dreams, like the ship, the Event Horizon, is watching him in his dreams.
I didn't interpret it as the ship, but he's being watched.
Yeah. That's what I just thought, because my whole thing is like the ship's just calling to him. That's why he's like, now that I know that the deleted scene was him arguing to be on it, maybe it's because the ship's influencing him. Yeah. So he wakes up. Now he's actually waking up, and he's like
all fucked up,
panicking,
Cooper's laughing,
and then this is where you get to meet the crew. You know, you see, Mama Bear, Kathleen Quinlan's character, Mama Bear. What's her? Peters,
Justin, Miller, DJ
Smith, Stark.
Cooper, Stark.
Yeah, and you get to meet all the crew. They're all
That's how you know I like this movie. I
remember
memorized the names of the characters. Yeah. I barely remember actors' names.
Yeah. No, they did a good job, and you get to see Cooper's the funny one. He's like the clown. Justin's the rookie. Stark is second in command. She's the lieutenant, I think, right? And he's the Miller's the captain. DJ's the doctor. Smith's the engineer, I think, or the pilot. He's the one that fixes shit.
It's probably both, but pilot is probably a better term because Cooper also fixes the ship, but he's emergency rescue, right?
Yeah, he's a rescue as well because he's the one that rescues Justin later.
Yeah,
but so everyone has each person's distinct roles. Each person's character. Some of the characters' backstories. Like some of them you don't. That's one nitpick I had. You only got to see some of the characters' backstory, not all of them.
Yeah, that's where it could have been longer, right?
Yeah.
Just to dive deep into them. Yeah. Deep dive.
The only ones you actually really know is Miller, Cooper. No, sorry, Miller, Weir, Peters. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. Justin, you don't get to find anything about.
You just know he's the
Peters,
new guy.
Is
his
son.
Yeah.
Stark, you don't get to think anything about. Miller's. I'm assuming you guys have already seen the movie. He left a comrade behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Weir's, he left his wife behind while working on the Event Horizon. She killed herself.
Yeah.
So, I think that's right. Just those three.
Yeah, and I like now that you mentioned the wife. It's like that's why I can see how he's so obsessed with the Event Horizon because it's like he lost his wife to that ship. So if he loses that ship, he loses everything.
Yeah.
Because
I never thought about it until now.
That's why it's like he has to hang on to it because like my wife died for this, and this is my life's work, and I want to be here. And that's probably why he's so easily influenced by the Event Horizon too, because that's like his last
connection.
Connection.
Even
not to his wife, but it's just like my wife died because of this. And then everything, I'll lose everything. I lost my wife for Event Horizon.
I did it for no reason.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, everything's meaningless. So I always thought about like that's probably why he's so fucked up, and he gets so easily manipulated by the ship. But the story progresses. You get to find out. Yes, the Event Horizon has been missing for 7 years. It disappeared by the moon, by Neptune's moon, somewhere close to Neptune or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it appears 7 years later.
And it's
sending
orbit.
Yeah, and it's
degrading orbit is
degrading orbit. Yeah, and it's sending out a distress signal. And then since Miller is like the best rescue and search and rescue team, they send him and his team there, and they're mad because they were on leave.
They talk about the Black Ops mission.
Yeah, the Black Ops mission, and Weir finally admits that anything you heard on the news about the Event Horizon missing was a lie.
Yeah,
it wasn't a maiden voyage. It wasn't like this ship was testing the boundaries of space. It could travel faster than light. And then I like to see the science parts. Guys, like you can't travel faster than light. It's impossible. He's like, well, they don't necessarily travel in light speed.
And then you get the paper trope.
The other one that started. This is the one that started it, though.
Is it?
Yeah, because this. Yeah, I'm sure people have seen it, but basically, people are confused because Weir starts talking all these like scientific terms. Everybody's like, English, doc. So he grabs when he grabs the guy's Playboy Playmate centerfold.
Yeah.
And then Smith's like, oh, don't use that because he's all like mad. But basically, he's saying it's not about like what's the fastest way to point A to point B, and then Justin says straight line.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's like you bend time and space so that the 2 points meet, and then you pass right through.
So if you guys don't understand,
and then he put the pencil through the paper to show it, and then after it goes through, time and space returns back to normal, because Interstellar did it, right? And then Thor: Love and Thunder did it too. And Thor: Love and Thunder even referenced Event Horizon.
That's funny.
For it. But they were the first one to do that. So Event Horizon has a gravity drive. So what it does is it creates a mini black hole so that those 2 points will meet so that the ship can pass through. However, what did they go through to get to point B? That's the mystery. Some fucked up shit is what they went through.
What's funny? Event Horizon is actually named after the Event Horizon, which is the boundaries of a black hole.
Yeah, where light can't escape no longer.
Yeah, nothing can escape.
Yeah, not even light.
They call it God's number because you're trying to divide by zero. And you know how you divide by zero gives you an error, right? Light, gravity, not even radiation can escape the event horizon of a black hole. Yeah. And that's what the ship is named after.
Yeah. And it creates a black hole. The Event Horizon actually creates one too.
If you add that God's number, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So that's what the ship is capable.
2 and 2, you know.
Yeah, but that's what the ship is capable of doing. But they kept that from the public. That's what the actual ship was designed to do: travel to the boundaries of space.
Warp time, because they wanted to try and reach the closest star.
Yeah, but
and they got fucked up.
Yeah, it disappeared, but now it's back. So now that's where they're going there. And yeah, and like right off the bat, it's great that you get to see all that. It's a good build up. You get the story right away. All right, and then you get to see Captain Miller. See, like Captain Miller too, because remember he talks to Peter. He's like, "I'm really sorry. I tried to get you off this mission, but there just wasn't enough time. I'm really sorry." Like he was like deeply sorry. Like and then she's like, "Oh, it's okay." He's like, "No,
I'll get him for Christmas, and he'll get him for summers."
Yeah, but then right there, you already see Miller's character. He's just like, like he cares about these people. Bad. Yeah, he knows all their personal history. He knows what's going on with his crew. He's not just a captain on a mission. He cares deeply about their personal lives. It's not just a job. Yeah, it's his family. Yeah, and then Weir fucked it all up. That's why he hates Weir. There's an attitude throughout the whole movie. Yeah, and
which ends up being well deserved.
Yeah. So now they have to dock till the. Well, then that's when. Oh yeah, remember how you talk about the ships incoming because they can't see anything. It's so funny because I got this too. I laughed so hard at this.
They're like,
what the fuck?
It says it's close by, 900 meters, 800 meters. I don't see anything. Where is it? Like the scanner's saying it's right in front of us. I'm like, why are they freaking out? That's what your technology is for, man.
Slow
if it's 800, even if it's not the ship and there's something 800 meters in front of you and you're going fast, slow down. You'll see it eventually.
Just if you're the captain, you just be like, okay, just slow it down now. Can't see anything. That's okay. Just slow it down. We'll figure it out.
Lo and behold, they're right in front of the ship.
Yeah, because they're in
cradle or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because they're right in the storm of the Neptune. So they have all those clouds and lightning and everything. They can't see anything.
And then there's that second mistake.
There's the second mistake.
Said it's in the degrading atmosphere. No, orbit. So they're outside the planet, in the orbit of the planet, like the moon is to us, right? But you don't get storms in orbit. You get storms in atmosphere.
Yeah.
So,
well, is that true in those other planets though? Is it just different, or is it? I don't know. I'm not an astrologist.
I'm no science nerd. But
is it astrologists that know a lot of stuff?
Probably.
What's the? Okay, yeah. Anyways,
probably
astrophysics or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know the science behind all that because I'm not.
You'd get a meteor storm, but it's not a storm like thunder and rain.
Yeah, that would be in the atmosphere. Yeah.
And if it's in the atmosphere, you have gravity, so that shit would be fucked. Because I'm pretty sure Neptune has higher gravity than us. It's a bigger planet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it does.
If it's in a storm, it's getting hit by the elements. The shit would be more fucked. And then they go in gravity boots. But since the gravity is more on Neptune, like you wouldn't need them. Nothing would be floating in that initial shot.
Yeah, I understand why they didn't just put the ship outside of the planet and it's just orbiting.
Yeah, I think it made I think it's just more for you mentioned in other, like you let it simmer. I think it would have been more impactful if they saw the ship clear as day in the desolate part of space, just like floating. Hanging there.
Like a dead body.
They could have just made it like tilted or shifted it a little way.
Yeah.
Something we're not used to seeing in space, because Weir was upside down as it was panning out in the established shot. Yeah, we could add it like in a weird position and just like
it's the whole 2001 Space Odyssey shot.
Yeah,
where they look like they're running in our way, but then they're in space, so they're upside down. The camera moves. Yeah, it's a very Kubrick shot. Yeah, but I like how they're explaining the science for the audience to easy understand. Yeah, because if you talk about black holes and shit to people in scientific terms, you're like, what the fuck? Event horizons and all that stuff. Like, storms, Neptune, lightning. Yeah, but I guess they had to I think he put the storms and lightning in there just for the visuals of it. It does look cool.
Tense moment, yeah.
Because it's like, what? There's lightning in space? That's fucking scary.
I'm surprised they would have windshields in space. Or windows in space, I should say.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, they only have it for the bridge, right?
Well, because they couldn't see it on the sensors, right?
Right.
And then they have a window there just to visually see. Yeah. Like, why would you have windows in space? That would be something that'd be compromise the hull of your ship, which happens later.
It's the future.
We both played Mass Effect. We know that Geths don't have windows because it's compromising their ships.
It is compromising to the ship. Yeah, it's a weak point, but it's just to set the tone, right? And I think that whole speeding thing, it's just to create suspense too, because it's like, but you don't need it. You can just see you just build tension by just seeing the ship, like you said, from like far away. It's a derelict ship, and you're like, oh crap. When I saw them panning around with the light around the Event Horizon, it looks scary. And then when they
set scale too.
Yeah. Set the scale, and then the design of it inside. And then when they go inside the ship, that's pretty cool.
Also
too.
set scale compared to the people.
Yeah.
When they have that first pan shot of the tunnel with the C4 or whatever.
With all the explosives separating the bridge from the rest of the ship.
How small those guys are compared to the ship.
Mm-hmm. And looks like a cross. Right. Yeah. It's very dark, but when they get there, because like Stark is like, oh, I'm scanning the ship. It's really cold in there.
Sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah, sub-zero temperatures. No bioorganic life could survive in this temperature. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, because you see that at the beginning of the movie, that floating frozen body.
Yeah,
it's still.
And you actually see the ice crystals.
Yeah, ice crystals. But when you just said like there shouldn't be gravity on there. There should be gravity on that ship because they're on the Earth's the Neptune's atmosphere.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be floating. They'd be on the fucking ground. The ship would be crashed.
Yeah,
but then you see when we saw the things floating, we're like, why is the water bottle not frozen?
Swooshing. Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Like you see all these objects floating. You see like a watch. You see like coffee cups, pens, and stuff floating around, which is fine. But then you see this water bottle,
and it's literally swooshing.
And the water's swishing. We're like, this is supposed to be frozen. So cold that no organic life can live in this temperature. So how the fuck is that bottle?
What I thought was a cool detail with that. I'm gonna just call it a gun that they're using to scan life forms. It's like no one can survive this, but the gun's picking up on the sensors a bunch of dots. Like the ship's alive, right?
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool feature.
Yeah,
a little detail.
Yeah, but yeah, and then so now they're just going inside looking for survivors.
Yeah,
it's like completely dead. There's no power, and that's when Justin. Well, I think two of them go to the bridge, and they see the dead body floating.
Miller goes to the laboratory. I think.
And then Peters.
Oh no, med room. He goes to the med room.
Peters and I think
goes
Stark
to the bridge.
Yeah, they go to the bridge and sees that floating. Oh, Peters goes to the bridge, sees the dead body, and then Justin goes to the gravity drive.
Yeah, and then we
poor
get
Justin.
First meat grinder scene. Which,
it's very cool. Very cool scene.
It's supposed to illustrate the 9 Circles of Hell by Dante.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Or Dante's Paradise or something, whichever.
I can't remember his name.
I think it's Dante's Inferno. Yeah. 9 Circles of Hell. Right? And that's foreshadowing what's going to happen to this crew.
Yeah, I'm telling you, why did you make it so scary looking?
Yeah, like, what the fuck, Weird? What's wrong with you?
And then you get the first amazing shot of the
gravity drive
room.
Yeah. And then it's like it's just spinning with the 3 rings, the circle spinning, and it's got that low hum, and it's like vroom, vroom. It's very creepy. And then all of a sudden it turns on.
Yep.
Right, and no one turned on the power, so it's the ship that turned itself on because it's got a victim there. Like, I gotcha. Yeah. And then it opens up, and you see like the black hole, like this little. That's the one movie trope I hate. I was like, oh, what is that? I'm gonna touch it. Get the fuck out.
Actually, in the deleted scenes, I'm glad we're talking about this. The first deleted scene is when he touches it, he's having fun with it, and then when he puts it again, a hand pulls him in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But another deleted scene where we're supposed to know Justin's background. He's like intrigued by black holes.
Oh, there you go.
And that's why he gets closer to it.
Because he's intrigued by it. Yeah. He wants to study it.
And that's his like backstory.
Gotcha.
Justin, yeah.
See? Well, I don't know why they cut that stuff out, man.
Me too. That would make sense. Even if they kept the hand to pull him in, I'm like, that makes perfect sense. Like touch it at first to see if it's just, like safe. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Right, but like touch it at first, see what it is. Yeah. And if a hand grabbed him on the second touch, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so he gets pulled in. He's attached to a tether.
Yeah.
Right. But then later on, the tether's not there anymore.
You see it when they come in.
Yeah.
You see Justin come down or whatever, and you see the tether's stuck on his backpack, and then they go down as he's walking around. The tether's completely gone.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be on the ground because there's no gravity. It'd be suspended wherever. And then as he's walking through the meat grinder, no tether, and then suddenly back.
So Justin disappears in a black hole. Everybody's freaking out, and then Cooper immediately suits up, goes in.
I'm coming for you, baby.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, baby bear. And that's what I mean. Like things happen immediately. It's not like where'd he go, and they're just standing there. Yeah. It's like we're going.
What should we do?
Yeah, it's just he's in there. So then all of a sudden Justin appears out of the black hole. He's completely comatose. Like he's like looks brain dead. Like his eyes are open and everything, but he's just like he's not there. They don't know when he's going to wake up.
It could be 15 minutes. It could be 2 hours. Or it could be forever.
Be forever, yeah. So they put him in med bay. So he's stuck there. So Justin's incapacitated for part of the movie. and then they're like, okay, then they turn the power back on. That's cool when the body finally falls, just shatters, and it's all, I'm like, oh, that's gross. And then they also found a recording of the Event Horizon, the crew.
And then they got I'll run it through the filters.
Yeah, at first you'll see the last message. They're like, "Oh, this is Captain blah blah signing off." They're like, "Here's the crew. Hi, everybody." Everybody's like, it's all happy video, and it's like, and right before they're going into the black hole, and then
and the captain also speaks the Latin.
Yeah, he speaks the Latin, but then and then they hear the audio, and it's like you just hear like this hellish screams and like whatever. It's all, but you don't get to see the video. It's all scrambled, and then Peter's like, "I'll run it through some filters." And this is like probably the most memorable scene in the movie. Like a lot of people always talk about this scene because it's the most memorable, because it sticks in everybody's head. A lot of fans, that's like the most memorable scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
When you see that
Isn't
scene.
it later on? I swear that's
it's later on.
Yeah.
No, they're running it with filters at this point because they find the recording. They just don't know what the video. They hear something in Latin.
The gore.
Yeah, they hear the Latin part, and then DJ speaks Latin. And there's another Christian and Catholic reference, Latin. And then
the dead language.
He's like, "Oh, I can interpret it. It says, 'Save me.'" Right? It just says, "Save me." And he's like, "Okay, that's all he could get from that, the scrambled message, without the video and stuff." Yeah, so like, okay, so now they're just trying to find out what the fuck happened to the crew. Yeah. All they see is blood everywhere. This human popsicle that's just floating there. Right? They have this like really weird audio video log that they can't scramble, and then you got Weir's just like, Weir's like in love with this fucking ship. Like he's like so like enamored with it. He's just like, "Oh, this ship's so beautiful."
His own hubris.
Yeah, his own hubris, right? And so it goes from there, and then because this is the mystery part. That's what I like about this. Is like it's building that mystery. You're like, oh, it's getting intense, and then you get to see Peter's. She had a son. There's something wrong with his legs, right?
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair, and then
I'm not sure if it's just born like that or
it doesn't really get into it.
Divulge, but
obviously he
get the first or second hallucination from Peter. She's watching Justin, and then she hears the scraping on the tarp.
Yeah, it's like a tent.
Yeah, pulls it off. Her son and her feet are being eaten by bugs or maggots.
Yeah, maggots. It's like rotted. His legs are rotten and stuff like that. And then she wakes up.
And then I think someone walks up behind her.
Yeah, DJ. DJ or Cooper walks up.
You okay? She's like,
and then nothing's there.
Yeah.
And then Weir starts seeing his wife again.
Yeah.
Right. And then Miller. That's when you see Miller's.
Oh, I think that's later. That's when Justin disappears.
Well, I think he sees this vision before Justin goes into the dock, because they already know that things are getting fucked. Like they start seeing things.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Because he tells JD or DJ. I don't know why I keep calling him JD. And then you get that cool scene where they're sitting down, and it's like two eyes. There's two big green eyes side by side in the face.
Yeah, so I'm watching them.
And they're talking about Miller's past, and he's like, "Have you ever seen fire?"
Even before that, Miller already saw his first hallucination when he was in the event, when he was in the gravity drive. And then he's like, "You let me burn."
Oh yeah.
So he saw his old crewmate, because Miller left his crewmate to die because he had to save his other crew. That's right. So he's seeing that. So he's seeing some fucked up shit. Peter's just seeing some fucked up shit. Justin's completely traumatized by something. So already right there, they know something's not right. And then Smith is like, this is what I mean by smart people. Smith's like, "Fuck this ship."
Oh, my favorite line.
Is that your favorite line?
Yeah. "We're leaving."
Oh, that's Miller. That's later. Yeah. No, I'm saying Smith says, "Fuck this ship," because he's not staying on the ship. So he always stays on the Lewis and Clark.
Yeah,
he doesn't, because
he's repairing the ship.
And he just has a bad feeling about the ship. He's like, "I'm not fucking going in there." So it's like, well, that makes sense, because most people will be like, "Oh, that's okay, just go in there." But he's like, "No, I'm out."
When Cooper saves Justin, and they have like, "What'd you see? What happened?" And then Cooper's trying to talk about, "Oh, there was nothing," and then he appeared. He popped out. And then Weir's like, "That's impossible.
Yeah,
that's,
the ship's not on.
Probably an optical illusion, blah, blah, blah." And I don't know why I thought of it as like, maybe he knows whatever happened to Justin will fuck him up. That's why he's just kind of like gaslighting him.
Yeah, well, that's like, what...
He made the gravity drive. I'm wondering if he saw that portal and he's already walked through it, and hence the reason why he's already having hallucinations already.
But you mean when they built the ship?
Yeah, when he built the ship.
Yeah, because he could have done it when they were there. Because he was still on the Lewis and Clark.
when he's building before it actually went on its true maiden voyage.
Could have. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That's why the ship was able to call to him from the space station, having those dreams.
I was just thinking to myself, maybe he already walked through that shit.
Maybe.
And that's why he's already having hallucinations prior to being on the ship. And
you can go either way with that. Because he's a scientist, so he would be like, that's not possible.
Yeah,
so he's trying to be scientific about it. But then it could be, he's conniving and he's like,
and then he has his hallucination in that
circuit room. Yeah, that's a creepy scene too.
I hate it when that's claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, yeah, because like something happened, they have to go inside the circuits. The circuit, then there's like the vent, and that's cool setup though. All those like different green circuits.
Remind me of Cube.
Yeah, and it's very like, oh fuck, I would not want to go in there. And he's crawling through
and
there.
The lights go
you're like, and then his flashlight goes out.
And you're like, oh shit. No, please.
And fuck, people with no eyes. It's like, I don't know.
It's weird.
It scares me. I'm just like, oh. Like, this movie knew how to hit all my like fears. Fuck, claustrophobic, and then now it's like, oh, claustrophobic with his dead wife in there. I'm cold. Cold. Come to me. I'm waiting. It's just like, oh, please God. And then you see her again, no eyes.
Yeah.
And then they like say, what is she saying there? Like, I'm waiting for you or something like that. And then he's like, oh.
Yeah. And then he lies and says he hasn't had any vision.
Yeah, and that's when you get to know. That's when you're like, when Miller asks him, like, what'd you see? Did you see? Because that's when Miller saw his crewmate at the same time. And then Weir's like, oh, I didn't see anything. It's like, oh, you're the bad guy right there. You know he's lying. You're like, a motherfucker. You've seen many things. That's not even the first hallucination you've had. You've had like many, and you haven't owned up to it. So you already know there's something going on with him.
And is that like a little after Miller's like banging his head on the wall, and then he gets another vision when his head touches the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of hell.
Yeah, that's the discussion. Yeah, you see that quick.
Yeah, quick cut of all mangled.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, and then
that's where they had the discussion with.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if that was if they had the conversation. I don't know if that conversation was before Justin or after he wakes up. Miller says, "I left the crewmate to die. He burned to death." And like, have you ever seen fire in zero gravity? It's beautiful, but it like engulfed him. Like
comes in waves,
and it just envelops you. And that's how his crewmate died. And he had to leave him behind because it was either him or sacrifice him or sacrifice everybody. So he had to sacrifice him, and that's why now he's like, I will never sacrifice. Like, he will sacrifice himself to save them. And then that's when DJ is like, oh, I figured out more of the message, the Latin message.
He's wrong.
And it says, like, I was wrong. It's not saying save me. It's saying save you, save yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's another part. He's like, save yourself from hell.
Yeah.
And then when I heard that, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, oh, it's getting
the
more.
Old gods.
Yeah, it's good tension building, though. That's what I mean. It's just got that good, like, oh, and that screaming and stuff like that. And then that's when all of a sudden Event Horizon turns on, and then Justin starts convulsing.
Yeah.
And then
that scene is crazy.
That's why I don't understand why people want to go to space, man. Space is fucked up. Like, fuck this, man.
Is crazy. I don't know how factual it is for what would happen if you were out there.
I did look it up before because I was like, well, yeah, what does happen? I heard that you can, it's like 2 minutes before you're like dead in space. Like you can survive in space for like 2 minutes, but basically all your veins and stuff start boiling.
Yeah. Well, your blood, the human skin is much thicker than people think, or stronger than people think.
Yeah. But it does
it'll come out of your skin and evaporate because it burns and freezes at the same time.
So all your blood vessels are everything's popping and it's swollen. You're basically swelling up like a balloon.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Right?
Yeah. And then but you can like survive for like 2 minutes, they say.
I just know from
you're not going to explode or like it's gruesome death, they say.
Yeah. But
it's not like you're just going to like basically blood's coming out everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say I know it's true that if you do end up going to the vacuum of space, I don't know, that you are supposed to release as much oxygen as you can to decompress your body. Yeah. But that was a cool fact.
I'm not sure if it's how accurate it is, but I did read up on it, and it's like that's what would happen as long as, like you said, release all the. But it's this is what I mean by smart characters in this scene is because when he enters that, because he wakes up and he's gone, but they're like, "Where's Justin? We don't know." And all of a sudden they hear the sensor for the airlock opening.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they see Justin in there without a suit, and then DJ and Peters are running towards him, but the door closes before they can get to him, and he's just like in a trance. And then like, open the door, come on, baby bear, open the door, mama bear. And then he's just standing there. He's like, the dark, like, because he said something about the dark.
Dark.
Who does he say it to?
Darkness.
Before he gets in the drive, because he grabs somebody when he wakes up. He's like, it's coming. And they're like, what's coming? The dark. And he keeps convulsing more. And then they sedate him. That's what happens. And then he wakes up later, goes into the airlock.
Yeah, while he's looking at
because he saw
Peters,
Justin basically saw where the crew went, the Event Horizon crew went, and it shocked him to death almost. But yeah, so he's in the airlock. But this is what I mean by smart characters, because as soon as he does, you got Stark working on trying to open the panel. You got Mama Bear trying to talk him down as a negotiator, kind of like trying to talk him down to open the door. And you got DJ there. He's the doctor. So if they do, when they open it or something happens, he's there ready. And then Miller's, as soon as they tell Miller, like, they're not going, oh my God, they're like, Miller's just like, what happened? They say exactly what's going on. Miller's like, okay. And he's like moving. He's moving. And he's like, all right, Justin, I want you to exhale all the air out of your breath, close your eyes, and just cover your ears and whatever. And then
keep yourself as small as possible.
Keep yourself small. And then Justin wakes up because the alarm goes off when they open the outer door. Yeah. That's when the alarm blares and he gets out of his trance and he's like, what am I doing in here? You're like, oh fuck, that's even worse. Now he's like, doesn't even know why he's in the fucking airlock.
I just find it weird that there's no like emergency cancel for that kind of thing.
Yeah, for inside the thing or outside.
Yeah. But it's like a manual switch that just cancels it.
Or unless there was, but the ship could have sabotaged it.
Yeah.
Because like Stark was trying to fix it, remember? Right. No, remember Stark said that they can't, there was something wrong with she was the one trying to work on it.
Right.
She couldn't get it open because something happened to it.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, like, there should have been like something.
There was.
Like, they could have showed it, like, them trying to pull it, but they just said it's broken. But if they
no, because the whole time Stark was working on it.
Yeah, but it was only the console because they were touching the console. But stuff like that normally has like a manual, like no electronics involved.
No, because they say that I can't open the inner door now because he's already engaged the outer door. That's why they can't open.
Oh, but on his side, right?
Yeah.
Well, on his side, you can cancel, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It's kind of like
I don't find that a big deal though. Really.
It's not a big deal. It's just one of the small things. Like if they showed something that's supposed to work not working,
because I saw it as, because I thought about it too, but I saw it as the control panel is not working because the Event Horizon sabotaged it. Like I just didn't really see. I just thought it was the whole time. I thought it was just because the Event Horizon put him in there and he's not allowing anyone to save him.
That's fair. That's
how I saw it.
Maybe it's just like story writing. I would like to see like a manual try.
Yeah, that didn't bother. Well, it didn't bother me because I was just like, that was not a nitpick for me because I was just like, the Event Horizon's just fucking everybody up.
But it
sabotaged the consoles for both sides, so he can't open it. That's how I saw it. Anyway, it's like the ship is alive.
It only bothered me in a way because the movie has been so smart at this point. They have a tether to Justin. The guy can put the thing and just like rappel to Justin. Mm-hmm. All the smart things in this movie, and then just like no manual try. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Well, I like I said, I don't agree with you on that one. That's all. I just disagree. I disagree.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying I didn't see that. I just saw it as they tried to open the inner door. They just couldn't because the Event Horizon won't let them. Like there probably was
the ship is alive.
The ship is alive, and it's fucking them up, right? and then Justin, the other door opens. He's got the fucking blood coming out of all of his orifices, eyes and mouth. Oh, it's gross. You see his veins all like turn
dark.
And he's screaming, and then he starts going out, and then Miller's right at the outside door, and he pushes him back in, and then
Justin gets the worst in this movie.
Yeah, he got pretty fucked up. That was horrible. He's alive. Justin's alive, but he's like completely done. He was out in space.
That's why
without a suit.
DJ's like, he's alive. He's not pretty, but he's alive. Yeah. There was another line.
Something like that, yeah. Because just saying that he's pretty much fucked up.
Yeah,
he's done. Like there's no way he's continuing on this mission. He's not doing anything. He's in stasis. He's in critical condition, kind of thing. So he's alive, but but like I said, it was really cool how all the people just were there. They were an actual rescue team. Like they knew what to do, right? Immediately, right? So that's what I like about these characters are smart. They're not like, oh, what do we do?
What's happening?
And then sometimes when someone's asking what's happening, and then they give like cryptic answers.
Right.
Like, he's dying. He's in there. Like, what do you mean he's dying? Like, it just keeps going. Like,
right.
Motherfucker, he's in the airlock. We need you here.
Jump where?
Yeah. It's like, oh, go. But this one is just like boom, boom, boom. Like, they just work well together. Right. So it was very cool. I like that. yeah, so I think Justin's the first one to get fucked up out of the whole crew, right? And then Weir starts getting more and more obsessive and weird. So, and then
I'm gonna call him Weird for now.
Yeah, I like when they're talking on the bridge, and then Smith's like, "This ship is fucked." He just says that, and he's like, "Something's going on in this ship." Like he believes there's things going on, and then Weir's saying that he's just hallucinating or whatever. And then that's when Smith tries to attack Weir, and then DJ puts that scalpel to Smith's throat.
Yeah. Everyone calm down.
Yeah,
like...
right there. Everyone calm down. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on in the ship. It's just the fucking ship. Right. Because I think DJ is just trying to convince himself.
Yeah.
It's not on Smith. He's trying to convince himself that this is just a ship because he's probably thinking the same thing. He just doesn't want to admit it.
Right.
But he wants everyone to be calm. He's a doctor, right? So, but yeah. And then Smith's like, fuck this. He just goes back to his ship. Goes back to the Lewis and Clark trying to fix it. Oh, yes, because the Lewis and Clark... Oh, I forgot to mention. Yeah, the Event Horizon sabotages the Lewis and Clark by exploding.
When they pull Justin out, the whole gravity wave fucks everyone up.
Like a power surge.
Everyone gets tossed around.
Yeah, and it fucks up like the exterior of the hull of the Lewis and Clark ship. So now they have to fix it. So Cooper's basically fixing it with Miller the whole time.
Yep.
And then that's where Cooper is most of the time, is outside fixing them.
Cooper and Smith.
That's
why they...
You don't get to see... They have no hallucinations. Yeah. But you know DJ. DJ and Stark don't get hallucinations either. Well, no, Stark does. But DJ doesn't. Which was weird. I always found that weird that he never got any hallucinations. He probably did. They just cut it out.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. It's like, damn it. Right. Now we're just going to get to like the most like infamous scene in the movie. So Peters and Stark are on the bridge of the Event Horizon. They're just chilling, talking. You see Peters trying to clean up the video.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden it does get cleaned up, and then the noises that you hear is now matched to the video they see, and then you just see Peters like spit out her coffee and like, oh my god. And then it cuts to this like I said, this is probably the most memorable scene. A lot of people like are just like how the fuck did they film this? Like or why? Like what the fuck? This is probably the most gruesome
it's like 10
scene.
seconds too.
Not even. Yeah, it's like because the original cut was 30 or 20 to 30 seconds. I'm like, I can only imagine how vicious
time.
That would look.
That's probably like 5 seconds.
Yeah, this is like 5-10 seconds, but it's basically, how can we put this?
Killing each other.
Yeah, they're like having sex with each other at the same time, self-mutilating themselves at the same time, other people mutilating each other. Like you see someone pulling like their insides out from the mouth.
Yeah.
You see like people getting bitten, they getting like just like.
You see the captain rip off his eyes and showcase it to the camera.
Yeah, and you see like a guy eating another person's insides, and they're just screaming and stuff, and. It's very visceral, and it's like
now
quick
you know
flashes.
What happened to the group?
Now you know what happened, right? They went insane. Like it's like they went back to their primal instinct, like it's like pure savagery, like primal.
Worse than that.
Yeah, like just like all that's left in their brains is just
they've lost control.
Yeah, there's no, what do you call it? There's no like
humanity,
no dignity, nothing. It's just pure rage and like it's horrible scene. It's disgusting. Yeah. And if you can freeze it frame by frame and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And
I didn't.
it's pretty brutal. And then I don't want to explain it, but I think I already did what's going on. Me and Mike.
Then we get our favorite line.
And then that's when the lieutenant's the captain of the ship, he's holding his eyes in his hands and he said, "Save yourself from hell."
Yeah. The captain of the Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, yeah. And yeah, and then they turn off the video, and what does Miller say? It's the best line.
We're leaving. Best line in a horror movie, man.
Yeah, because how many horror movies actually say that?
Yeah.
We're leaving.
Like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. As soon as because you see Miller just look at everyone like a look of disgust, and he's like, "We're leaving." Yeah. Like he turns on and just said it, "We're leaving." He just walks away, and then we were trying to convince him not to, and then. And then he's like, "Fuck this!" And then Miller's like, "Fuck this shit, we're leaving." At the app later, because he's even more mad because we were trying to convince him to stay. He's like, "No, we're not." But it's true. Why would they stay now?
Yeah,
their whole point was to rescue them.
What would Weir accomplish? That's how you know he's like fully fucked, right? Like you just saw this video. One person already got fucked up.
Right.
Our ship got fucked up. This ship is fucked up. Why would you say?
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
But
I understand it for the story purposes.
Yeah. But we are like, he's just possessed at this point. He's like Mass Effect fans. He's indoctrinated.
Yeah,
you know. But
he's on the Sovereign.
Yeah. So, but from Miller's point of view, it's like, why do we have to stay? We're a rescue crew. The crew's dead.
Yeah.
We just saw the video. They're gone.
It's perfect.
we're
Perfect
done.
response.
Yeah, we're leaving. We're done.
Grab the
But
scrubbers.
and at the same time, he's like, I don't want to turn out like them. We're fucking out of here. So it's like, I'm out, right? Which is great.
Grab the scrubbers. We're out in,
Yeah.
I forgot what he said, 20 minutes or whatever he said.
Yeah, because they still have to fix certain Cooper's. He's asking Cooper how long. He's like, almost done, perfect. And then so they pretty much almost fixed the ship, but then fucking weird sabotages it because he gets the final hallucination of his wife, and she's like, cold. He's got no eyes. She's completely naked, and he's by the gravity drive because this is where Peters dies too, because he finds Peter's body first, and then he sees his wife.
Fun fact about that. When
because Peters and DJ are trying to grab more CO2 scrubbers
yeah.
from the Event Horizon to take back to Lewis and Clark, and they're grabbing them, and then the Event Horizon makes him. Basically, the Event Horizon makes you see your worst fears or your regrets or something that guilt, whatever. So she sees her son on the ship, and I like to think of this as the ship's making her follow the sun as opposed to she's willingly doing it. I don't know, because
that's how I saw it. Like, she's indoctrinated.
Yeah, because in my mind I'm thinking,
bro,
your son's not here.
Video.
Yeah.
Why is your son 54 days
billions
based off how fast you're going in Neptune on this ship?
Well, how many kilometers? How many billions of kilometers is Neptune away from Earth? Like, why would your son be on the ship? Right. So, like, I'm thinking at this point, like, she's possessed.
Her death was brutal.
Yeah, it was sad. Yeah, because he follows the kid up the
and then the kid's
stairs,
smiling when she's falling. I'm like, man, that's brutal.
It's cold. That ship is cold, man.
But my favorite thing there is when she's walking up the ladder. You can see images of coffins for the hallways.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. Good symbolism.
Attention to detail, man.
Right. And then he sees her. She sees her son, or her quote unquote son, and then she walks towards him, but she doesn't see the big gap.
Yeah.
In between, just falls to her death.
Circular railing instead of straight path.
Yeah. Just falls to her death and just crashes right beside the gravity core and just like explodes in blood. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Her eyes are like all black or dark red, and her legs are fucked. I was like, man, her death was brutal.
And then Weir finds her. I'm like, oh my god.
He's like, oh no! And then he stops and rips out his eyes.
Well, he sees his wife.
Yeah, I did a hallucination.
Yeah, hallucination. So what happened? Yeah, is because his wife killed herself because his husband, he was never there for her.
Yeah,
because he was too busy with the Event Horizon. Yeah. So that's his guilt.
Did she in the hallucination poke at his eyes?
Yeah,
and then
but he's doing it himself.
Yeah, he's doing it himself.
Yeah, the Event Horizon makes him think that the wife is, because she's like, I will make you see, and it squishes his eyeballs.
I thought she was guiding her hands to his eyes. I couldn't remember that part.
But then it cuts to him just by himself now, and he's ripping out his own eyeballs, just like the captain of the Event Horizon. So it's like, oh, he's fucked. And then but the scene where Peters dies, I was kind of like, where the fuck did DJ go? He was like right with her, but he went ahead. I know that, but here's the thing:
Smith was
Smith. Yeah, one of them. Yeah, well, yeah, Smith. Sorry. And then I'm like, well, if he saw that she's not behind him.
Yeah, like your crewman. Yeah, it's like, we already established that you guys are all good terms. Why would you like?
It's like, yo, where's Peters? I don't know. I have my scrubbers. I don't know where she went with them. It's like, no, you're the one that wants to get off this ship as quick as possible, so you would go together. But I'm because I'm like, maybe there was a scene where the Event Horizon
separated,
did something. There's a lot of plot conveniences you could do with the Event Horizon, like all these powers it has, right? But it never establishes why.
Yeah,
because she was literally right behind him. Yeah. Like if
she dropped the one scrubber, she went to go pick it up, saw the sun.
Yeah, and then I was just thinking,
if Peters is like, Smith turned around, you'll be like, let's go, and then snap her out of it.
Yeah, but because we have to have our first death.
We don't get the cool deaths.
Yeah, and then that's when Weir's now he's fucked up, right? Yeah. And then he goes and sabotages the Lewis and Clark by taking one of the explosives off the bridge of the Event Horizon. Not the bridge, sorry, the hallway. The corridor, what separates the two ships. That's what. That's for in case of emergencies. They blow up that.
Yeah, it explains. Yeah. You blow up the center part so the cradle could be its own
ship to
escape pod or whatever.
Yeah, its
survival pod or whatever
exactly.
they called it.
Yeah. So like Smith's trying to Smith sees Weir on the Lewis and Clark. You only see the back of him.
Yeah.
You never see the front because his eyes are probably gone. Mm-hmm. And then he leaves. You see him on Lewis and Clark, but he goes back to the Event Horizon. And then that's when he's like, Miller, Weir was just on the ship. And then Miller figures out he's just planted a bomb on Lewis and Clark. Get out of there. Yeah. And then he's like, I just fixed the fucking thing. I'm not leaving. And he's trying to find it. And then he finds it, but only, what, 5 seconds left?
Yeah, but there's a disarm button right there. Literally says disarm.
Yeah.
Like, click it.
That bugged
It's not
me.
part of the ship.
See, now that part bugged me. The Justin thing, I was like, oh, okay. But that disarm button with that part, I'm like, come on.
Like, going back to that Justin thing, right? If the ship's controlling Justin and it's trapping him there, then the ship would technically have control of all the bombs because it's still part of the ship. That's why I'm saying, like, it makes more sense if they showed some secondary option, contingency plan fail. Obviously, you can't repair it in time. So that's why it's just weird.
No, it's weird. That disarm part, where it's
literally, it's like,
you clearly see it. That
disarm.
That makes me kind of like, what?
Smith could have been like,
yeah, there's no logical way you can explain that scene. That's not.
Even if it'd probably be better if they reduced the time to like 2 seconds.
Or they just didn't put the disarm button so apparent on the screen. You know, you just put it somewhere else, or don't have to put it in there. You could just not even have it there. It's just the bomb. Yeah, right?
And I feel like it's also weird to have the bombs be able to be used separately. Like, I feel like, I don't know, why would you do that? Why would you allow a bomb to be removed from its spot to be used separately without the console of the ship?
Should be covered.
Yeah.
You know, the way we're talking about these nitpicks, it sounds like we don't like this movie.
I know.
Well, more you than me, actually. You have more nitpicks than I do.
I love this movie. It's just weird that I'm nitpicking about it.
So, I'm like, are you sure you like this movie, Mike? Because you got, like, a nitpick for every scene we've been talking about. I do, too, but not as much as you, because sometimes I'm like, I noticed that. But no, it's true. There are a lot of, like, things where it's just, like... But like I said, it's probably because you had to cut so much shit out. I think it would have been a lot better if it was 130 minutes.
I think the nitpicks become because the decisions I'm not used to functionally in a horror movie. Mm-hmm. That's why I really like it. But then I guess this is not really nitpicks in that way. It's just detailed nitpicks, right? The bomb disarm one is like a big one.
That one's a big one because like it's right there. Like they should just take it. I don't know why they even have the disarm button on that thing.
The one with Justin, it was just like a nice story beat for him. Like, oh, contingency plan 2 failed too, so now he's like super fucked.
Well, they did save him. Like they still saved him. It's just horribly what happened to him before they saved him. But like the disarm button, that was a problem. So Smith finally finds the bomb, but it's too late. The whole Lewis and Clark explodes. So now everyone's stuck on the event horizon. So
Miller fucked up by telling him that they were going to send torpedoes or missiles until it's debris. Oh, yeah. If he didn't say anything, just flew the ship out, then blew it up, and then went away. Problem solved.
Yeah, okay. So he's like, yes, sir, we are leaving, Doctor. I'm gonna get on our ship. We're gonna get at a safe distance, and I'm gonna blow that ship up with every torpedo I have. Fuck this ship. That's what he says. That's how he says it.
Because that one was another one. Because like, you know how obsessed that Weir is to the ship. You shouldn't have said anything and just did it. Right. But I mean, story beats like
but I think he's just angry at this point. He just wants to get the fuck out of there. But it is this is when shit hits the fan. Now this is what I had a problem with, is that I wish they spread out these deaths more. This all happens
like right away
in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Bop.
Yeah, boom, death.
And we get the weird comedy relief with Cooper.
Oh, Cooper, yeah, because when the Lewis and Clark explodes, Cooper was outside, so he gets blown out into space. Yeah, he's still alive, but he just pulls an Iron Man.
Yeah, right? With the oxygen tank.
Yeah. And
he's stuck to the thing because he has the mag boots on. I thought that was a good detail. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. I completely forgot they had the mag boots.
Yeah. But he's like, okay, what do I do? But here's the thing, Cooper's still trying to figure out. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? Okay. And he blows his oxygen tank. I'm coming, motherfucker. He's just going back to the ship. And I mean, that is a cheesy comedy line, but it's Cooper.
Yeah.
I forgive it because it's Cooper. Because he's funny throughout the whole movie anyway. But after the ship blows up, Miller's telling DJ, like, Weir blew up the ship. Keep your eye out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and then DJ's like, don't worry. I got him. And then he picks up a scalpel,
then a bone saw.
And as soon as he stops talking to Miller, he turns around, Weir's right there, and just fucking guts him.
Yeah.
Just stabs him, and then that's another problem I had too. See, I have problems with the movie. Yeah. It's an ending. The ending is what I have a problem with. It's how fast he fucking did that to DJ.
Yeah, literally turn around.
Because Miller could hear DJ screaming through the thing, so he's running towards him. And during that time, Weir was able to gut him, pull out all his insides, hang him on hooks above the operating table, all this stuff spilling out in the matter of 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Almost like a minute or two.
And he's like Not even out the next door.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, he did that fast. That's what I mean. It just seemed like they rushed everything at the end.
It'd be better if he's looking for DJ and then he found him just like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, off-scene death you didn't know until they discovered him. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like they're trying to get a hold of him. They don't know where he is and trying to find him, like went missing. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's just everything just...
You know, the rated R version, he was still supposed to be alive.
Oh, really?
He's supposed to look up, and then Miller was supposed to shoot him with the bullet gun.
Damn.
I don't know. That would have been better.
That would have been horrifying, but better. But that's like a Hellraiser callback too. That whole hooks and getting skinned and all that. But very brutal scene too. But it all happens like it's too fast. And I just wish they spread it out. Yeah. So Weir's basically turned into like the Terminator at this point. Like he's just
a god.
God. Yeah.
Move fast,
or demon
and move fast.
Yeah. He's superhuman, strong. That's when he finds Stark unconscious on the floor.
It never like I rewatched that whole section with the explosion. You never really find out how she got knocked out. She's just
you don't
laying
know.
on the ground.
She's laying on the ground. So I'm thinking, well, if Weir did this, if Weir knocked her out, why did he knock her out? He killed DJ. He killed Smith.
Yeah.
He kills Ellie. He wants to kill everyone else, but why wouldn't he kill her?
Right.
Right. But you don't know. Maybe the explosion knocked her out. Like when the whole ship exploded with Lewis and Clark when it exploded.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna chalk it up to the explosion.
Yeah, they didn't make. Yeah, they should have had a scene where it explains why she's knocked out. But anyway, she's knocked out. Miller goes to her, and like
puts the gun down right beside him.
Yeah,
that part bugged me.
Yeah,
he pulls out the thing in his arm.
Yeah,
the sniffing salts.
Yeah,
yeah, and then he looks back and the gun's gone.
Yeah. But where was Weir though? He was like across the room.
He's like in the middle of the room on the captain's chair.
That's what I mean. It's like, wow, he has these powers now. Like the fucking ship can give him the gun from the floor. Like, because Weir didn't pick it up. It just disappeared.
What happened to your eyes? I don't need eyes to see where we're going, or where we're going, or whatever the fuck that is.
He's like, we're leaving. You can't leave. She won't let you. Kind of like those creepy lines that he says. But yeah, now he's got his eye. He showed his eyes closed. Right, and he's just like all insane. Weir's all insane and stuff, and then that's when he shoots the bolt gun and blows a hole through the window. They see, weak point of the fucking ship. Why do you need windows?
Yeah,
this is what happens.
Well, that's when Cooper hits the window, right?
Yeah, Cooper's like, "What's going on? I'm back. What's going on? Oh shit!" Remember when he gets to the window, they shoot at him
pretty hard there. Oh shit!
As soon as he gets to the window, he gets shot at. Just like damn. And then that's when the pressure. The decompression happens. Everyone gets sucked out. Weir gets sucked out, right? And you're thinking,
I like the scene the best because Miller goes to save Stark.
Good callback to his character now. It's like redemption, right? And that's
went full circle.
Yeah, because Stark's about to get pulled out, and Miller's right at the door, and he goes back in and grabs her and pulls her out right before shit hits the fan. Now this is where I was just like, this is why this movie got so. Where I didn't like the ending is because I like the ending. It's just how rushed it was. It just felt so rushed because all of a sudden now, Weir's back on the ship. He's completely cut up like the captain was, like at the spinning body at the beginning.
She brought me back.
Yeah, she brought. And his eyes are back now. Yeah. He's bald, and I'm just thinking, why? What happened this year? Why did they make him like that? What does this all mean? It's just like he's just like that. Weir puts his hands on Miller and gives him the visions of his crew all like getting tortured. That was pretty brutal too.
Yeah,
you see like all caught in like barbed wire and through stakes, and I was like, oh god, I'm not even gonna go through that. But pretty gnarly scene too. Yeah. And then because he's trying to show Miller this is where we're going, hell. Weir says it's not hell. Hell's just a word. Where we're going is much worse. That's what he says.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's
the old gods.
Yeah, but yeah, and then that's when they armed all the bombs on the bridge because they're going to blow up the cradle from they're going to separate the event horizon.
Yeah.
Because Weir activated the gravity drive. So they're about to go into the black hole. But the thing, so Miller's having that big fight scene with Weir at the end by the gravity drive. They're having like fire everywhere. And
where he goes ham with the scrubber.
Yeah.
Like beating him like a caveman.
Just just wailing on him.
And then Weir does like the one punch and he flies away.
Hits his back against the thing. Like, oh my god! And then but then they're fighting through the fire. It's like on fire. That's cool. That was a cool shot of like the gravity drive on fire. But then Weir keeps asking, "Can you see? Do you see?" Right? Oh, before that, then you see Stark and Cooper trying to get to the cradle, and then that's when the Shining.
Oh yeah, the blood. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, the blood.
So like basically, if you've seen The Shining, you know that
green liquid turns red.
Yeah, the green liquid. If you know The Shining, the elevator scene with the blood pouring out, very iconic scene. Everyone knows that scene.
Slow mo.
Yeah. So this movie blatantly takes that scene.
Oh, definitely.
From The Shining, and you see Stark looking up at all these tubes that have liquid in it, and then they all start turning red, and then they come out like a big rush of waves of blood all over her.
They should have just had them shatter instead of just blood.
Yeah. But I was just wondering, like, what's the point of that too? It was just it just seemed like that was just there just to be there. It wasn't. There was no. The rules of the Event Horizon's power is all over the place.
It doesn't make sense without the deleted scene. So when that big centerpiece turns red, that's actually where Weir's new body is formed.
Yeah.
And when that shatters and she gets covered in blood, that's where he comes out and steps down. And then she falls down the ladder, and that's with the ladder where he's going backwards.
Okay, there you go.
Like,
where did you see the deleted scenes?
I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, fuck, I gotta watch it.
Well, that part you don't get to see, actually. The director talks about what was missed in the deleted scenes and why that scene was there.
So now, with that context, that's an important scene.
Yeah,
but they don't show that in the original cut.
I know, which kind of sucks.
It just looks like it's just there just to be there.
So for like DJ, he explains that DJ's fear, because you saw the scar here.
Yeah, he's got a scar.
It was a failed surgery, and his nightmare is to be dissected alive, which ends up happening to him. Yeah.
Because you do see the scar in the original. You see a scar. Did they explain it in the movie?
No,
they don't. You just see it. Scar. Yeah. See, all these little things they would have made the movie so much better.
Yeah, I know. This is the 30 minutes we need. The 30 minutes longer.
It would be great. But like the ending just just goes so fast with all these things going on with Weir. Weir just turns evil so fast, and it's just like, I mean, because it's a slow burn throughout the whole movie, and all of a sudden he's just.
Yeah, it's like
completely evil.
Atmosphere, and now the climax is like pop, 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 pop. It's rapid fire.
Yeah, just gives you no time to like process or just seeing like what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
I wish you could let it breathe. The ending should have just like the whole movie building up to that point was breathe. It's just a good build up, a good mystery, and a good like horror elements to it. It's very scary. It's very gory too. Within 20-30 minutes, they all die.
Right.
So, but yeah, but that is cool that you tell me that. But that's where he brings him back. Weir brings Weir back, and the tube and his blood everywhere. That makes more sense now with Stark.
The context of that. Like without it, then you think it's the Shining ripoff.
Yeah.
But with it, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right? Because
he's being birthed by blood.
Yeah.
And like
by the ship,
and it's very, very gory. It's very hellish, and that makes more sense. But yeah, so she gets bathed in blood for no reason in the original cut, but now with that deleted scene or what the director said, it makes more sense. But they don't show it, so I can't count that. Unfortunately, like the actual original cut,
I would have liked to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to have seen that, but unfortunately not. So she gets bathed in blood and she's trying to escape with Cooper. They do escape, and then it cuts back to the fight scene between Weir and Miller beating the hell out of each other. Well, basically Weir beating the shit out of him because he's like God mode right now.
Yeah,
and he's
beast mode.
Yeah, and then Miller grabs the detonator.
Yeah, in the fire.
Fire, because then we were asking him, "Can you see?" And he's like, "Yes, I see." And he presses the button, and then the classic movie trope, "No, no!" Right, the scream. The bad guy always screaming "no" when his plan failed. So what? Yeah, Miller
monologue too long. Yeah,
yeah, and then the whole ship. Well, the corridor thing, the split ship blows up. Stark and Cooper are able to escape by flying away from the ship's orbit, the black hole.
And then you get the corniest.
But Miller sacrificed himself to save the rest of his crew.
Yeah.
Well, what was left of his crew, which is him coming full circle.
And this is where I think they should have spent the third of the budget, is in the vortex seat, because it was so bad.
Oh, when it gets sucked into the... Yeah, because basically Miller and Weir get sucked into the... Because Miller doesn't die.
No.
That's what's shitty about this. Like, Miller's going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Alive. Like, he's not dead. And it's like, fuck. So, yeah, it does look pretty bad.
Yeah, you see the ship, the blue vortex go, yoop.
Yeah. It's like, Boop. It's gone.
I'm like, man, you spent
Because
the money in the wrong spot.
On the wrong spot, man. It's like, it's just a space station. Who cares? Done. But yeah, so he, Miller and Weir go to hell with the Event Horizon. And then Cooper and Stark are in their pods and back to Earth. Stasis. And
not back to Earth. I think the rescue ship.
Oh, the rescue ship comes, right, while they're in stasis. Yeah. That's right. And then they pull Stark out, and then he's like, "You're safe." The rescue guy's like, "You're safe." But then he removes his mask, and it's Weir. But it's, and then she freaks out, she screams, and then it's just her hallucination.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Cooper trying to console her, like, it's okay, we're okay.
And that door
closes. And that's the end.
Leave it ambiguous. They say.
So yeah, it's like, is Stark possessed by the Event Horizon 2 now?
They all fucked.
Yeah. And then the best thing about this, it's not the best, but I just think it's funny, is you see this horrible movie, this haunting horror movie, and it ends with techno music. And it's just like, see, this music
techno rock, man. It hits hard.
Fucking hits horribly.
They gotta make sure you guys are okay, that it's just a movie and then it'll freak you out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean when the movie just ended with that kind of music. I'm like, okay, I just saw one of the most scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. But now I'm completely out of it because this music just destroyed any mood I had for this. But it did its job. Regardless of how the story was, I'm like, this movie holds up and it's got a good story and it's scary.
I think the atmosphere really got to me.
Yeah, the set pieces, everything is so good. It's like, this is like
newer movies miss setting up atmosphere.
Yeah. And it reminds me of like The Thing.
Yeah.
This movie's like The Thing. It bombed in the theater. Has a cult following now, gory as hell. A lot of people didn't like the gore in it, but then now it's like a huge movie because it's got like the same history that The Thing had.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever watches this now, coming from this podcast, you'll be all like, this should need more gore, more body horror.
It should have been longer.
More blood.
Yeah, because I think when I heard the techno music, I'm thinking, well, he did do Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he still had that kind of...
I think he wanted to hire the same band that they did for Mortal Kombat for this movie, but I'm not sure if that followed through.
Because the Mortal Kombat song is iconic.
Yeah,
everybody knows that song if you've seen Mortal Kombat. That to me is the music. I'm just like, yeah, not during the movie. I'm talking about like the beginning credits and the end credits. They just don't fit. It's jarring, and it took me right out, and I just laughed because I'm like, why is there techno music playing? Like, what the? But it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
My problem is rewatching horror movies that freaked me out as a kid because it takes away the illusion that I had when I was scared of it. Like Child's Play as a kid. Fuck that movie. Watching it now, laughing out loud.
Yeah.
It was like a horror comedy, but as a kid, I didn't get it at first.
It's just how the movie is made. Because like Exorcist is scary because they could say it's based on a true story. But it's just the whole context of that story, like what happens. It's like a little girl.
Her face.
Yeah, her face. She's getting completely like possessed. What she says, the stuff coming out of her mouth is just like, oh my God. Just like what words.
Yeah.
Too. And then like Event Horizon, same thing. But I don't like gory movies. Like I don't like to see those movies because I'm like, I don't want this shit living rent free, man. Unless it serves a purpose. Like Event Horizon, it's gory, but there's a reason.
What's that, a movie where...
or Terrifier. Like a lot of people like that movie Terrifier, that clown one, but it's very
that movie's okay.
But it's very gory.
Yeah.
But it's very disgusting. Like
the
too
black
disgusting.
and white clown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a fan. I've watched some of them, but I just don't like,
I'm a big horror buff.
Yeah. That's where we differ.
Well, I shouldn't say buff. Buff means like you know stuff about
I like scary movies.
Like movies.
Yeah, I like scary movies. I don't like gory movies, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know, like
the viscera. Sometimes viscera is too much.
Yeah, it's just too much for my head. I'm just like, people can call me a wimp or whatever, or a pussy. I don't care. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, viscera is not for everyone.
Yeah, it's just... I just like seeing that stuff. Because I've seen like dramas or like horror movies that they have one gruesome scene in it. Like it's just gruesome, but it fits the story.
Yeah.
But it's not a horror movie. It's just this
It's
one
not
scene.
viscera for shock. It's viscera for story.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my God. It's
like Saw.
Good. Yeah.
In the very end, when he takes it to the leg, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. You don't really see him cutting it. You just see him screaming.
Yeah.
But your imagination's doing all the work. Yeah. You're like,
that's the best type.
Yeah. I mean, less is more.
Yeah. And then you just like trying to crawl away or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn.
And he's like all pale and white from all the blood loss too. And you're just like, weak and stuff. But yeah, great movie. I love Saw. I have Saw. But
like the other one is it
Spiral. There's Spiral.
No, Spiral's okay. There's weird.
Jigsaw was the other one.
No, I'm forgetting the Saw where she has to dive in a pool of needles.
That's Saw 3.
Saw 3.
I think 3.
I can't remember if I liked it or not, but that scene alone was like, yeah, I can, like, it's not very visceral, but like the feeling in itself is just my imagination what it's like to get all those broken glass and needles into my skin.
Yeah,
like,
and like how and are they dirty needles too?
Yeah,
like what's it doing to you inside? Oh yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, like, that's all me in my head.
It's more
like you see it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I like the psychological aspect of it, where you don't see it. Like Seven.
Yep.
You never see the murders. You see the aftermath, but the explanation of it makes your mind just go, "Oh, that's horrible," and it scares you. Just like I'm kind of glad they didn't have that blood scene where they see the video in Event Horizon, the blood orgy scene. I liked it when it was because it lets your imagination do the rest, fill in the blanks.
You kind of want to know more, but you already know what's going on.
Just when you've seen the slashes, you're like, "Oh, I can already imagine what else is going on in that fucking bridge." Like, oh, gross. So I like it. I like horror that way, where it lets your mind. Your mind can do way worse than what is shown on screen.
Yeah.
And I find those to be more, they stick with you more. You remember them more.
Like, what's that horror movie with Ethan Hawke in it we were talking about earlier?
Black Phone? No, Sinister.
Sinister.
Yeah, same thing. Great movie. Actually, that's one of my scariest movies I've seen too.
Yeah. Sinister was shockingly good.
Yeah.
That exceeded my expectations when I saw it in the theaters.
So that's a good
one.
Like
the whole lawnmower thing. You don't really see anything. You just see the body... lawnmower over the head. You're like, whoa!
Yeah, you see Ethan Hawke's reaction, like, oh.
Yeah,
right?
like he switches to his reaction right after. You're like, that's rough.
Yeah, it's all in your head because you can only imagine.
Maybe I'm using the definition incorrectly, but it's not bloody. It's not.
Yeah, it's not bloody. It's just psychological. Yeah, your mind paints the picture already.
Yeah, that's the best type. But I do like when it is bloody and gory when the need for it
is there.
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch Eli Roth's movie because they're just gross. Like how could I make this person kill this person in the worst possible way?
Right.
And I just kind of watch movies where it's just like torture porn. That's what they call it. I don't like torture porn. It's just not my.
I can see that.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right,
it always goes back to Saw. Like Saw just got crazy.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of those torture porn movies. That's why I don't like them anymore because they're just
not for you.
It's just not for me anymore. Because I'm just like, oh, it's just
okay.
Gross.
You don't really see a lot of torture porn in horror movies per se, but like you'll get like a random leg get chopped off, arm get chopped off,
that's fine.
Chopped off. Yeah.
Because I've seen like horror movies, like
I guess what I'm trying to say, it depends on the type of horror movies, the subgenre, like slasher film or like slasher, suspense horror,
whodunits, who's the killer, but it's just it's just gory for gory's sake. I don't watch those ones. Just because I don't like those movies doesn't mean I think they suck. It's just not my thing. There are people that love those movies, and it's great. You know, if you're entertained by it, cool. As long as you're not doing it in real life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't be torturing small animals and pets.
Or something. But I just, those are just not, it's just like, you know, as much as I'll watch them. Like I said, a movie buff should watch everything. But there are some where I'm just like, no, I'm good. Well, because sometimes my friends will tell me, like, oh, yeah, so this happens in the scene. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see it. I'm good. Because it's just too gross.
Right.
Like Human Centipede. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. No, wait, no, I saw a bit of Human Centipede. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, Human Centipede wasn't as critically acclaimed as my friends have put it.
It's like, critically acclaimed? Human Centipede?
Oh, he's like,
those words shouldn't be in the same sentence.
You gotta see this movie, man. People get stitched together, dude. I'm like, whoa. And I saw it, like, I wouldn't even say it's okay. It's there's a number 2?
Yeah.
Watch that one, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, nope. I only watched a bit of it, and I'm like, I am out. This is not my type of movie. Like,
what would you rate Event Horizon?
I would rate it about a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? That's a lot lower than I would rate it. I was gonna give it like... It's funny, I nitpick the shit out of this movie, but I give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, there you go. No, I give it 7 out of 10 just because of like, the same reasons. There are a lot of like the ending kind of, as good as this movie is, just the ending disappointed me just because of how fast everything came together.
Rapid fire.
Quick, and I just didn't like that. And the ending's the most important part of a movie, I think.
And the shitty CG vortex.
Yeah, so that's why I give it a 7.
Like going into a Mario tunnel.
Yeah. But it's just because of that. But everything else, the build up to it, the characters, the acting, the direction, the set pieces, the makeup effects, the lighting, the
Right.
mood, the tone, everything perfect, pitch perfect. But it's just the ending. That's why I give it a 7.5 out of 10, because it's just like, damn it.
That's pretty close. 7.5 to 8.5, or if lowest 7.5, 8.5.
But
We're not far off.
No, we're not far off.
If you said like 6, I'm like,
No,
yeah, we're
no,
kind of
no,
we're
no,
kind of
no.
too far.
No, it's like I give it. It's just the ending that disappointed me.
That's how I feel.
Watch it.
Like going back to watching horror movies that used to freak me the fuck out.
But
I'm like, I essentially killed the magic for myself.
yeah, because watching it as an audience member, 10 out of 10 for sure. Entertainment wise, boom. But now that I'm older and I got like the critical mind now, like a critical review, I give it a 7.5.
That's fair, because this is technically my first time watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I had to watch it because like back then, if you asked me back then what I give this movie, I'd be like, yeah, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for sure. Best movie ever, the scariest movie ever made, hands down. Now I watch it, I'm like, not the scariest movie ever made. It scared me, not the scariest, but it's a great movie.
it's like Child Play.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, Fear Factor. 10 out of 10. Now it's like a 3 out of 10 now.
Right. So now it's like, okay,
I
7.5.
think the only one that lasts to time is like Exorcist and The Shining. Like Fear Factor now, 10 out of 10. Back in the day, Exorcist now, like 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
It's still
but they're still scary. It's just the storyline. Like The Shining, Exorcist are just classics. They're just an Alien too. Alien's a great horror movie. Oh, I should say that's one of my favorite horror movies too. My bad. Alien.
I never looked at Alien as a horror movie.
The first one?
Yeah, I looked at
really?
it like a thriller movie.
I looked. Oh, I thought it was
Like it's scary,
I
but it
saw it as a
wasn't
kid
like
too.
it wasn't like a horror for me. I was like, oh shit, this
Really?
is sick. They're getting chased by an alien.
No,
I don't know.
man.
I had
Like,
like a different mindset.
Do you know
as
how
a
many
kid.
people were scared of the whole alien bursting out of the stomach scene? Oh my god, everyone was freaked out about that.
Yeah.
That's what freaked me out about.
Don't get me
that.
wrong, it made me uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
I just was a weird kid. I was like more excited that they're getting chased by an alien than the actual like scenario. But as a kid, I'm like, oh shit, aliens, come on, get away.
Yeah, but yeah. So I would recommend it to anyone. Mike, you recommend this movie?
I do.
I do too. I think it's a great movie. If you're into sci-fi horror, you're into those types of gore elements too, and you like seeing like the practical and the technical aspects of a movie too. Like they deliver it in this, because like I love movies that have practical effects. But if you're not a horror fan, do not stay away from it.
Nah,
You're not gonna
you
like
should
it.
watch it.
Oh, Mike, every
Be a
time I
man.
say no, I'm just saying, because like there are people that are not gonna like it because they don't like horror. I have friends that have not seen this movie yet because they're like, it's a horror movie, I'm not touching it at all. Fuck you.
And after pushing through watching this movie, then play Dead Space. Then you'll understand why it's amazing.
Yeah, Dead Space great too. But yes, check it out. Whatever streaming platform you can. But yeah, we this one ran a lot longer than most episodes, but that's okay. It's okay.
Let us know what your favorite horror movie is, and does it stand the test of time? Have you rewatched it? Do you feel the same way, or has the fear factor dropped, or you just got over your trauma from that movie?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comment section, or give us a message.
Yeah, give us a like, and subscribe to our channel on Spotify or Apple. Give us a like, really help us out. And
Follow us on Instagram.
yes, that's right, like our Facebook page. We're just doing our shameless plugging right now,
Yeah.
so that's what we have to do.
I'm starving. Help me survive.
Yo, Ray, you just need gamer money.
Hell yeah.
I'll probably cut this out anyway.
Should say that and not cut it out.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't cut it out, Mike. Sorry, my bad. I know, but yeah. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify, and then we'll see you on the next episode of Wong is Right with Mike on Movies Podcast. Thank you for listening.
See ya.
Got him with that fucking bomb, man. Hilarious. That's so funny. Fuck this guy. This guy's harder than that other boss I just did.
Yes, Damocles, we've got the bastards. Excellent work, brother. Any contact with Talassa?
Talassa reporting. Xenos leader beast eliminated, Lieutenant.